Jesse on a Thursday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 201. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. I looked at Kerry right before and I go, is it Wednesday? He goes, no, it's Thursday. I go, okay, cool.
Nice.
Glad we figured that out.
Pretty sure it's Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
I think so.
Jamie, we're not even going to ask you. You have no idea what day it is. You have no idea what state you're in. But welcome
I'm like,
aboard.
guys, you're totally messing with me now because I have no idea. Now you've got me questioning life in general.
Well, we do that on a daily basis, don't we?
This is true.
Jamie, good to see you, man. We haven't seen you in a couple of days. Oh, good?
No, guys, sorry. Yeah, everything's good. I'm messing with my stuff here, trying to get it all set up again.
Well, don't mess with your stuff right now.
Well, whenever it travels.
now.
Well, you're right, Anthony. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Actually, it's good advice.
You're on camera.
Camera's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
So the Blues get going again tonight. They had a couple of nights off. They're in D.C. That's where Jamie is. Jamie will be on for the first hour of the show. Capitals, Blues. And Drew Bannister is reuniting Kessel and Krug. He said they played well together while they were there. We started that way and went back to Falk and Krug. We just felt as a team it's probably best right now to go back to that Krug Kessel pairing and have them play together. Jamie, do you think that's the right move, going back to that pairing?
Yeah, I do. I think that if you look at when Matt Kessel came on board, he played right away against some of the best players in the league. You know, Crosby, Malkin, and Pittsburgh right away. And then after that, his assignment ever since has been matched up against some of the other team's best players. So, you know, when I look at it, you know, on paper right away, it makes sense. And then, look, Justin Falk had, an injury of some kind, a lower body injury of some kind. And, you know, it hasn't been great for him since coming back. Now, it's not on him, just the one individual player. It's just, for whatever reason, it hasn't been connected the way it should be. And you've gone with Perunovic and Kessel as a pairing at times, and then you're mixing and matching. You're putting Perunovic up with Parayko and Kessel over with Leddy and Kessel with Krug. It's a lot of shuffling the deck for no reason, I think. I think this way here, Drew Bannister talking to him this morning, he just said flat out, he said, I get the lefty-righty pairings that I want, and now instead of the two young guys on one pair, and then we're kind of, you know, Scrabble, playing a little game of Scrabble throughout the game, now I get to have them, each guy with a veteran player. And if things change and I want to drop down to 4 defensemen or change at some point, we can do that down the road. But Drew Bannister believes that this gives his team the best opportunity to compete.
So the other pairings are going to be Leddy, Parayko. We mentioned Krug and Kessel, Perunovic and Falk, Binnington back in net. The forwards, Buchnevich, Thomas and Neighbors, Shen, Hayes, Kyrou, Saad, Sundqvist, Gaudette. Is that how I pronounce that? Gaudette?
We're calling him the Godfather.
The Godfather. Walker, Alexandrov, and Toropchenko. Let's go back to the Godfather here. What are some proper expectations for the youngster as he's entering the lineup?
Well, look, let's just kind of, you know, taper, you know, all like high expectations. This is a guy that is the top goal scorer in the American Hockey League right now. He's got an NHL shot.
So he should be the top goal scorer in the NHL.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, Anthony, that's exactly what happens. Usually translates right away into superstardom in the NHL. But no, what I do like is that Coach Bannister has put him on a line that can compete. You know, sometimes, and we've talked about this in the past, sometimes these guys get called up and they get played on a fourth line, which is kind of, it's not a good fit. You know, they're offensive-minded, offensively gifted, and not that the guys on the fourth line can't play. It's just a different mentality for those guys, and you're getting a lot less minutes as far as doing your damage up there. So this is going to be good. He's playing with Saad and Oscar Sundqvist, and from what I'm told, he likes to shoot the puck, which is great because the Blues need some more shots on net. They need more action at the opposing goalie. So we'll see ultimately, you know, how this translates. He's no stranger to the NHL. I think he's got just under 250 games played overall in the NHL. So he has spent some time in the league, but he's having a fantastic season down in Springfield, the American Hockey League. And I think right now the Blues are looking for some of that to translate. You know, you got Kapanen that exits the lineup, so you've lost some team speed there for sure. You need an offensive-minded guy. Why not bring up the most offensive-minded guy right now in your minor league system, which is Gaudette, and give him an opportunity?
Jamie, we were talking about this yesterday, about where the Blues are come trade deadline. How difficult will it be, whether they're buyers or sellers, trying to get this team in a position to get better or move pieces with all of the no-trade clauses that are on this team right now?
Yeah, look, this is going to be interesting to see how things play out over the next 3 weeks or month. because, right now you stumbled. You didn't even fall. You stumbled just a little bit in the recent games, and you're 5 points out of a playoff spot. Like, that happened fast. So, if your team, for whatever reason, can't continue to win hockey games consistently, like, the gap is going to get larger and larger, and then Doug Armstrong's going to have a decision to make. Do you stick around and hope you can barely squeak in the playoffs, and even then it's an outside chance? Or do you start moving some pieces and try to get some assets for it? And to your point, Kerry, look, the no trade clauses certainly don't help as far as moving players along, because I do think that the Blues have a certain number of players that would be very coveted by other teams, especially teams that are contenders or competitive, looking to make some kind of a deep run. There'd definitely be some people interested. Now, the players in return would have to be interested as well, and that's a whole other obstacle. So the next 3 to 4 weeks is going to tell us all we need to know. And, the guys with the no trade clauses, if this team looks like it's not making the playoffs, if this team looks like it might be going through a similar situation next year as it is this year, some of those guys might be more than willing to move on to a different team that has an opportunity to play in the playoffs and give them a chance to win a championship. I mean, time will tell with that. I do know that right now this group really does believe that they can make the playoffs. They believe that they have the right guys in the locker room to make a push into the playoffs. And until, informed otherwise, this team's going to compete that way.
Jamie, that was another thing that Carey and I were talking about yesterday. I still think that the second wild card is in reach for them. I mean, the Blues have some work to do. This is not going to be a top 3 team in the Central, like Doug Armstrong had noted before. I don't think that even the top spot in the wild card, unless the Oilers start to fall apart here, is even realistic. Do you, though, think that there's still plenty of time? And have you seen enough is really the more important question, because there's enough time. But have you seen enough for this Blues team to put together a run here of maybe 5-6 games in a row where they could actually make some headway and get back into the second wild card?
Well, look, they just went through a bit of a gauntlet. They've had some really good teams that they played against, played really well, too. You got a couple of big wins against Carolina, against Washington, against Rangers. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, you can hang with some of the best teams. Now you just have to get a run going. And to your point, Anthony, they haven't had that this year. I think 3 in a row was their biggest win streak, which it's nothing to, turn your nose up at. But look at the Oilers. They're, 11 games deep right now on a run. And you look at the Predators, had a big run at one point. Like, some of these teams are just putting together really good streaks of playing good hockey and winning. So you've got to match that. In the Western Conference right now, it's so crazy because you win a game and you think, okay, we're going to gain some ground, but then the Coyotes win and the Predators win and the Oilers continue. In Calgary now, who expected them? Now they've entered the chat out of nowhere, and so it's going to be a situation to where the Blues just have to keep their foot on the gas and keep pushing. Do I think they have a chance? Yeah, I said it from the beginning of the season. I said that this should be a playoff team, in my opinion. Now, we'll see what happens. Now, injuries haven't been a part of the season, like, in a big way until recently. They lost some games played for Justin Falk. Now they've lost Kasperi Kapanen. We'll see how this team adjusts. We'll see how Gaudette plays. We'll see, Alexandrov is back in the lineup. He's back from his conditioning stint in the AHL. It's not going to be solely on the shoulders of Thomas, Kyrou, and Buchnevich like it has been for a little bit here. You're going to need a support cast with those guys if you're going to make a push for either of those wild card spots. But I do believe this team still has it.
Jamie, I wanted to shift gears. They played the Washington Capitals tonight. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest players to play the game. I was wondering, when you came into the league, was there a player that you either played with or against that you were just like, oh, he's here? like kind of a glow around him.
Well, yeah, Gretzky, Lemieux, Yager, those guys are pretty good. The entire Red Wing team.
I heard a couple of those guys.
Yeah, all of the Detroit Red Wings were good. And, it was pretty horrific at times. There were some good players. And, there's definitely guys that when you're, suiting up, you're like, oh, man, you got to worry about this guy, got to worry about that guy. For me, as I got later into my career, I did get the matchups against some of those like star players. Early in my career, I had more of a worry of keeping my head on a swivel over who's going to try and take my head off. Because there's, you got the third and fourth line guys that are looking at the young guys. They're foaming at the mouth. They're trying to, to just basically get out there and run you through the boards. And I've said before, guys like Rick Tocchet, Ty Domi, these guys were a nightmare because they were tough as can be, and yet they fell into your weight class. They weren't like 6'5", 6'6". They were like 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. Cinder blocks for fists and anvils for heads. It was a tough matchup sometimes. So I worried more about those guys than anything.
The Blues and the Capitals, they'll square off tonight, 6 o'clock. So that means we've got a 5 o'clock pregame for you right here on 101 ESPN. Thank you, Jamie. We'll just thank you.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah, certainly. We'll have Jamie's 5 keys to victory, or 12 or 15 or 19.
Whatever it
really
takes.
20 was good last time.
Yeah, 20 was solid. Plus the first goal of the game, that'll be toward the end of the hour, though, and we've got Chris Kerber coming up at 3:30, so plenty more Blues discussion to come up. We do need a Gauntlet contestant, right, Marsh? Because we won yesterday, so Gauntlet contestant. If you want to participate, you can. Fantastic. We'll have that. And, again, we're off a little bit earlier tonight for the 5 o'clock pregame. So last night, I think we all had the same reaction. What the hell? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, are you paying too much for your ED meds right now? You probably are, unless you're going to the medicine shop in St. Charles. They are your destination for cheap ED meds. They always have a generic called sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Fellas, I've seen this advertised in other places. I have not seen it advertised for less than $2 a pill. It's a steal. Of course, prescription is required at that point. And there's also a program where Medicine Shop will offer you free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace. This is a very, very, very valuable program, especially for people with busy lives, schedules, kids with sports and after-school activities. The pharmacy, sometimes you just can't get there. Bring the pharmacy to you. And Medicine Shop in St. Charles does a great job of taking care of everybody that way. And they've got a beautiful, full pharmacy located in St. Charles. Please walk in. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. They're going to do a great job of making sure that you answer all your questions and that you leave completely satisfied. And if you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy.
last night we all got, I think, Carey, you were the one, or maybe it was Marsh, that sent the tweet that said that Marsh did, that the Cowboys were going to retain Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
I think we all had the same reaction, like, what? What's going on here? Carey, why do you think that ultimately they decided to keep him?
I don't know. That's the best answer I can give you. I don't know. If anybody with eyes watched that playoff performance, that team was not prepared. Mm-hmm. They were not physical.
Well, the Packers were.
Well, he didn't coach for the Packers.
Oh, you're talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Cowboys, the team that lost.
Got
it. They were just there. And, we talked about it while it was going on, because Dan Quinn's name has been considered for possible head coaching jobs. I sent you a message. I sent you all a message, said, well, he won't be getting the head coaching job.
Yeah.
He'll be lucky to keep the job that he has now. Mike McCarthy, I thought for sure that he would be fired and not retained after that situation. But for whatever reason, and I guess the only realization that I could come to is maybe they're going to let him and Dak finish it out their last year. Maybe they don't re-sign Dak in the offseason, this upcoming offseason, for a new deal for years to come, because they want to see how well these two work together. And I could understand that if Dak, but then you run the situation where Dak may say, hey, I'm not going to play under this 1-year deal, and unless you re-sign me to something that gives me a little bit more stability. So it's a weird situation. I thought at halftime Mike McCarthy could get fired. I thought for sure when I saw Jerry spinning around in that damn chair looking around the room for an answer, somebody got something for me? Anybody? I thought he was going to get up, go down the elevator to the locker room and say, I got it. Give me the headset. I'll take it for the second half. That's what Marshy said. Who said that? Jamie? One of you all said he's going to have the headset for the second half.
Could you imagine?
Just do it. What the hell difference does it make?
That would have been incredible.
Marshy said he's going to take the headset at halftime. He might. The way he was spinning around, he had no one. People were putting their head down when he spun around. Don't look at me. Don't fire me. I didn't do it.
It's like Medusa.
No,
as long as you don't look at him,
he won't know you're there.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Now, Carey, Anthony was missing on Friday. Remember, we lost him for a little bit?
Yeah, I thought we couldn't find him. We didn't know where he went.
All of a sudden, we looked over at the end of the show, and he wasn't there.
He got the star. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. You're right. But no, Carey, I asked you that day. I said, is there any scenario to where Mike McCarthy gets fired? And you were pretty steadfast. You're like, no, man, I think that it's a good team. It's and you kind of were lobbying for Mike McCarthy. What happened?
Jamie, the first half happened. They scored at halftime, right before halftime. If you go in 27-0, I told you, Devondre Campbell makes that interception at the goal line. They don't score. That game is not as close as it ended up being. Those were empty calories that the Cowboys got towards the end of the game. And I would hope that Jerry understands football enough at this age to understand that those points didn't mean anything. Like when you look at the score, you're like, not that bad. No, you were getting your teeth kicked in for 90% of the game, and you were able to score some touchdowns when they took their starters out. I don't know, Jamie. I don't have an answer as to why you would bring Mike McCarthy back. We talked about it. This is one of the best off seasons for head coaches availability, for guys that are available for a head coaching job. It's very interesting that he decided to stand pat and not go do anything.
Well, maybe Carey, the answer, and Jamie, the answer lies within what you just said. It is a fascinating coaching cycle, but you have three guys at the top that don't really fit with Jerry Jones. Let's think about this.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, he's going to want complete control. Jim Harbaugh is not going to leave Michigan where he's got all the control and then listen to Jerry Jones tell him what to do. He's going to want complete control. Mike Vrabel did not have complete control in Tennessee, but I think that's one of the reasons why he eventually was let out the door. So he might say, hey, this second go-around, I want more say in the personnel. So this is the top three guys. Mike McCarthy, for all that he didn't do on Sunday, he's actually got the highest winning percentage of any coach for the Dallas Cowboys. He had the Cowboys hosting a playoff game. Dak Prescott, under Mike McCarthy, has been the best version that we have seen. So why, if you're Jerry Jones, if you're not going to hand over the control, would you go with one of these hot coordinators as opposed to just running it back with McCarthy? We thought, Belichick slam dunk, he can get him over the top. Not if Jerry Jones is not going to relinquish control.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I think, as we're seeing more and more, with Bill Belichick getting a second interview in Atlanta, that Bill Belichick's more likely to go there. Because Arthur Blank, you know him, hey, we haven't won anything. Complete control. You can tell the janitors what to do, Bill. Go for it. You're the man. Go for it, man. Bill, I think, would be more attracted to that situation than going to Dallas. So I think it's about who's available compared to Mike McCarthy, who does not have personnel decisions. Didn't have personnel decisions in Green Bay.
This is probably, I don't know that they get better next year than they are right now. I don't know that this team, they were the number 2 seed. They won their division. They beat some teams. They lost some teams. They lost to some teams, but they beat some teams that they should have beat. And this was a really good year for the Dallas Cowboys. To end it on a note like they did in the playoffs, the wild card versus the 7th seed, a team that struggled to get in, a team with essentially a rookie quarterback, never played in a full season in his entire life, and to come in there and do that to you. From Anthony, there was no point in that game where the Packers were not in control.
Yep.
From the opening kickoff until the final seconds ticked off of that clock, they were the team in control, and it was just mind-boggling to see. Yeah, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna try it one more time. I don't know how you come to that conclusion.
But we often think, Jamie, that with an owner as old as Jerry is, we tend to think, he's not going to want to put up with this. He also doesn't want to restart. I thought you were going to say he's only
got 1 year left. It's like, Anthony, his life's not a contract.
Holy smokes! No, I think we tend to think, he's not. He's going to want to get this right. He also doesn't want to start over. And he does have a very good head coach. He just has one that, unfortunately, the last couple of years for him, and the Cowboys' sake, has fallen short.
Is he
he's a Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yeah, I get it.
He helped Aaron Rodgers. Nobody likes to give him credit.
He did.
But he helped Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers might have been able to do it without him.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see what next year looks like. And I will probably, because next year is his final year of his contract, right? Or did he?
McCarthy? This was his 3rd year, so typically.
No, he should be 2 more because he signed a 5-year extension, I believe.
Well, there you
or
go.
4 or 5 year. Yeah.
Well, I just don't know, guys. I just don't know how it changes. Like, if anything, this was the year to have it happen.
Yeah.
You had the best offense in the league. You had an incredible defense. Like, this is where you should have made your mark. So what happens now moving forward? Like, if Dan Quinn leaves, we can say what we want about the Cowboys in the final game of the season that they just played, but leading up to that, they were a damn juggernaut defensively. And they had been for 2 years, so much so that Dan Quinn was sought after last offseason, but decided to stay with the Cowboys. I think he smelled blood in the water, and they thought McCarthy was going to be gone. That didn't happen. But how does it get any better? I don't know how you change this to make it better when this should have been the year.
I look at a guy like Ben Johnson and what he's been able to do with Jared Goff in that offense. I understand if Dak Prescott doesn't want to switch to another offensive coordinator, because if Ben Johnson comes in as a head coach, more than likely he is calling the plays.
Yeah.
So I look at him and I look at this Dallas offense. This Dallas offense has a ton of potential. We saw it in the regular season. I wonder if he's a guy that can get the most out of Dak Prescott, because he is getting the most out of Jared Goff right now, and they have that team 1 win away from the NFC Championship game.
I mean, it's a fair point, but we again, this has been Dak's best season, and Dak immediately after the game said, "I want Mike McCarthy back." They have developed a really good relationship. In fact, to the point where, remember when Dak got hurt? I think it was in McCarthy's first year. McCarthy showed up at his house.
Yeah.
Showed up at his house and said, "Hey, I'm going to go over the game plans with you just as if because you're my starter." And he knew Dak wouldn't be back for a while. Remember, he'd fractured his ankle, and that was a nasty injury. But he showed up at the house
backwards.
Yeah, that was ugly.
It was.
That was bad.
Facing the other way.
Yep. He was in shock. He's like, this is a problem.
I don't think it should look like that.
No.
What do you think?
But they developed a really good relationship. So Jerry is committed to Dak, and I think that's part of the reason why he decided to recommit here to Mike McCarthy.
Oh, how sweet.
How sweet. How nice. They'll be bouncing the
sweet.
first round again next year. Huh, boys?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
They don't make it.
It's a Fastlane on 101 ESPN. How does Tommy Edman's health affect the Cardinals' defense? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Selling your home is a big deal, and it's definitely not the time to just go with any average agent right now. You need the best in the business to make sure that you're capturing the market at its best time, and the best is Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty, and here's a couple reasons why. When it comes to options for selling your home, Gloria Lou has several different options, but the one that I prefer and that I love is guaranteed sales. That's where Gloria will sell your home at the agreed upon price, or she'll buy it herself, and she guarantees all that in handwriting. And she's very confident in that because Gloria Lou has the buyers. Gloria has thousands of ready buyers in her exclusive database, and all those buyers create a higher demand, hopefully multiple offers, lots of traffic to your listing, and more money for you. So please, if you're looking to sell your home or you just need advice on selling your home, call Gloria Lou. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the price as well as the possession date. Dirt Cheap is St. Louis's one-stop party shop. They have an unbelievable selection of your favorite beers. How about your favorite wines, whether it's a red wine, a white wine? Just walk in, ask them for even a recommendation, and they're going to help you out. And, of course, the spirits. And my all-time favorite is the bourbon selection. And Dirt Cheap is exactly what they provide to you, which is cheap prices. Cheap prices, great name brands as well. You've got Elijah Craig, you've got Angel's Envy, you've got some of the best bourbons around. Maker's Mark has that brand new one called Snow Day. It will warm you up inside, and it is oh so good. If you're looking for other savings and discounts and promotions, download the Dirt Cheap app today. And I got so many great things on there, and in fact, you can also order ahead to where you can pick up your order at any Dirt Cheap location. And now they deliver. So get on the app, make an order. They deliver to your home. Dirt Cheap is by far the best in the business. So please stop by any location. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. They absolutely love hearing that. And remember, have fun, but be careful out there.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues are back in action tonight, taking on the Washington Capitals. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Chris Kerber will be on the call tonight. We'll talk with him at 3:30, so stay tuned for that. Once again, Blues Caps tonight on 101 ESPN. We just got done talking about Mike McCarthy as the Dallas Cowboys are sticking with him. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com. You can check out the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire, it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. This Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at Londoff.com and Londoff Autoplex. Are you kidding me?
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers with us for another 2 segments. Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody tuned in. John Denton of MLB.com, who covers the Cardinals, he put together an article recently to talk about how Tommy Edman's health affects the Cardinals' defense. And one of the paragraphs in this article, I think, stands out the most, guys. He says, John Denton says, so how worried then should the Cardinals be that Edman, their starting center fielder in the season ahead, hasn't taken a complete swing or cut loose a full throw since undergoing surgery on his right wrist in October? How concerned should they be that Edman was the one incumbent player they were unable to reach a contract agreement with and are likely headed to an arbitration hearing against? How concerned should they be considering that Edman is their break glass, if necessary, fallback option at shortstop if top prospect Mason Wynn struggles at the plate? Also, there's this. If Edman is slowed in spring training, and all indications are that that will be the case, how much does it open the door for fast-rising prospect Victor Scott II, who could be a franchise future in center field? So besides that last part there, John Denton does lay out kind of a doomsday scenario for the Cardinals.
He's not very Peter positive with that article.
No, he's not. Are you guys really concerned about the Tommy Edman injury at this point? Jamie, what about you?
I think you have to be. I mean, look at Tommy Edman. We know that he has his ups and downs while at the plate, too. I mean, the one thing that everybody wants Tommy Edman to do is have more consistency offensively for this team, and at times it's dipped. So if his wrist surgery is affecting his swing from either sides of the plate or even both sides of the plate, that's a big concern. And I know you're supposed to have some big boppers in the lineup and you can hide a couple of guys, whatever, but Mason Wynn is already that one guy where you're talking about hiding him offensively because you don't know what he can bring to the table. And I understand that this is a new year and Mason Wynn has put in a lot of work in the offseason. But if you have Wynn and Edman that you have question marks around offensively, it reminds me of the Cardinals of a couple of years ago to where you're like, okay, you got the top 5 guys and then
right.
Hold your breath. You know, so that's one aspect of it. And defensively, I'm not too worried defensively. I can't remember. Is it his throwing hand or his catching wrist?
I think it's his catching.
Do you know that?
I thought it was his throwing.
It might be.
Because he said
because he can't throw.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So that does bother me a little bit because he doesn't have the greatest arm to begin with, and looks like he's going to be slotted into play center field. And if that's the case, and for whatever reason, the weaker arm coupled with the bad wrist, I don't like that combination. So I don't know, Kerry, I'm concerned.
Yeah, me too. I think we were concerned trying to figure out why we didn't know about this injury. And I think when you don't know about it, you would assume that if they didn't say anything until recently, the assumption would be, well, he's healed and ready to go. Because if you knew about it in October, then the questions would be, well, what are we going to do to replace him or have someone in place in case this scenario comes up?
Sure.
And maybe that's why they went and didn't have to go to arbitration with Dylan Carlson, go ahead and sign him to this contract, give him what he feels is necessary, and because he may be slotted into playing that center field position. I don't know. I mean, you have a player that you said is your best center fielder in Tommy Edman, but now he may be injured, hasn't thrown a ball, is unable to swing a bat. The wrist, Anthony, I'm not mistaken, is very important for how you get that bat around. And
some would say.
I think it's kind of important to use. Yeah. And I think in order to be able to grip a baseball and be able to cut loose to throw it, it's also important. I told you all I had wrist injury as well when I played and had the decision of, do you want to do surgery or do you want to do rehab? I chose rehab. My wrist still hurts to this day, but I had to block. I didn't have to throw a baseball or swing a bat. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, how long this injury lingers, and how it does impact this Cardinals defense, because you slotted him to be your starting center fielder, and if he's unable to go, where do you go now?
It's interesting because it's one of those situations where it's like, it's not a concern until it does become a concern, right? Until
surgery is always a concern.
You're in April and it's like, well, Tommy Edman's still not there yet, and then it's May and it's like, well, he might come back soon. It opens the door for Dylan Carlson, though. Kerry, you have been Dylan Carlson, his number one fan. You lead that fan club.
In this room.
You were passing out T-shirts earlier today.
I didn't have T-shirts.
This is your guy,
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, Kerry, we don't really need to wear the T-shirt.
You're going to wear the damn shirt, Anthony.
All right, fair enough.
It was a crop top, too.
Yeah, it was.
Put it on. We got it on.
But it does open the door for him in spring training. Hey, Dylan Carlson, you want that job back? Take it.
Stay healthy. Go get it.
And then when Tommy Edman's ready to come back, Tommy Edman's only avenue is to go back to second base.
There you go.
So this is an opportunity, I think, more for Dylan Carlson than it is a massive concern with Tommy Edman. Because defensively, I agree with Jamie, you can get by with Dylan Carlson defensively in center field. He's a natural center fielder. He'll be fine there. If you have to move Lars there, you'd be fine with him too, although he profiles more as a corner outfielder. Defensively, I don't think you're that in bad a shape. But Tommy Edman is somebody that can be a catalyst at the bottom of the lineup. He's kind of your perfect 9-hole hitter, or 8 guy now that Mason Wynn is projected to be your 9-hole hitter. He's somebody that's got a little pop. He's got some speed. He could be a gap-to-gap guy when right. You need that in your lineup. Defensively, though, yeah, he's very valuable. I think you can get by for a little while with Dylan Carlson, though.
Tommy,
now,
go ahead, Jamie.
Sorry, Anthony, you said he's got a little pop. Well, he did have a little pop. We
right.
don't know what it's going to look like.
You don't know with the wrist. Yeah, if it's fair.
And, he's coming back. He's not going to looks like he's not going to have spring training, or if he does, it's going to be at the very end of it. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of catching up to do. And if he doesn't have that little bit of pop every now and then, like, what does he truly have?
Yeah.
So I worry, man. I worry that this year is going to be a year spent on trying to get Tommy Edman right. Let's get him right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're force-feeding him back into the lineup when there's other guys who might be able to play in lieu of him. So, Kerry, I don't know. I worry. I still worry.
Well, I think, for me, I told you all, I thought Dylan Carlson is the better center fielder anyways. He's able to cover as much ground and has a better arm. He's more of an athlete. Tommy Edman is a good athlete. I think Dylan Carlson is a better athlete with probably more upside at the plate than what Tommy Edman brings, which is why I felt more comfortable putting him back at second base and solidifying your middle infield along with your center fielder. If you're strong up the middle, you should have a really good defense. So I'm not really concerned in terms of that because he wasn't going to play second base, and I felt like Dylan Carlson is a better center fielder. It's just an opportunity for Dylan to go out and do his job, stay healthy. If you are unable to play, you probably won't have many more opportunities to play, not only for the Cardinals, but in professional baseball, because that's just how sports go, Jamie. When you are unable to stay healthy, you get a rap. People are saying, oh, that guy can't, he's not going to, he got all the talent in the world. How many games he play? He plays about 45 games a year. Oh, well, hell no. I don't want that guy on my roster. What am I going to do with that?
Right.
So this is an opportunity. He should take full.
What is he, a pitcher?
Right. He should take full advantage of this. And if you're Dylan Carlson, and this is the report that is out there, Tommy Edman hasn't thrown, hasn't swung a bat, you take this opportunity and run. And you show everybody what you showed them a few years ago when you were a Rookie of the Year candidate, when people were saying you were on your way, ascending to be one of the better outfielders in Major League Baseball. This is your opportunity. Do not relinquish it when he comes back healthy.
Same applies to Victor Scott.
Same thing.
Victor Scott can turn heads right away.
But here's the thing. For that outfield, and again, I don't think I'm as sold on Lars Nootbaar as everyone else is.
Yeah,
I think
you're not a fan.
I am a fan.
Shame on
It doesn't
you.
feel like
It feels dirty for you all.
Do you not like the grinding, Kerry?
Is that because
Come on.
he didn't get us
You seem like a grinding type guy.
Shohei Ohtani or Yamamoto? Is that what it is?
They put a check next to his name for
Yeah,
that.
you did.
I marked him down a little bit. You didn't do your job. But I think if the outfield, if Dylan Carlson performs extremely well, and Victor Scott is supposed to be your center fielder of the future, I don't have a problem with competition. I think competition is what makes your team the best version of itself. So if Dylan Carlson is playing better than Tommy Edman and Lars Nootbaar, as well as Victor Scott and Jordan Walker, then why would those not be your three starting outfielders? That's my mindset. I think when you have a team where everyone is competing and everyone has to show up every single day to be the best version of themselves, your team is better for it. And so I don't think Lars has done enough yet to solidify, nor has Jordan Walker, but he's projected to be better than what Lars is. And if those projections hit, then he will be. I think you still have to make sure that everyone is competing for their spots, and that's what makes your team the best.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm grinding. I'm grinding.
Yeah. That's our lineup game. Lars, it's his jam. You get it. Jamie Rivers, Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie's keys to victory, plus first goal of the game. Next on 101 ESPN.
Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket accessories. They are by far the best in the business, and I can tell you this firsthand, that whatever you drive right now, whether it's an SUV, a pickup truck, a Jeep, a Bronco, how about even a minivan? Well, Pure Performance has you covered. They do a great job of making sure that you get the accessories that are perfect for your vehicle. And not only do they have exterior accessories, they've also got chip programmers, interior accessories. They've got gauges. They've got so much going on over there. And the best idea for everyone is to go over and visit them, because they have a 25,000 square foot facility. It's right off the highway, right off Highway 70 in St. Peters. When you walk in, please ask for Shelby. Tell Shelby that Jamie Rivers sent you in. She's going to ask you what kind of vehicle you have and what you're looking to do. And then after that, the technicians are incredible. Whether it's wheels and rims and tires and lift kits, leveling kits, they have got the best technicians in the business, and you will love everything about Pure Performance. So please get over there and visit them. Check out the shop. But if you can't get there in person, check out everything online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com. Fellas, listen up out here. If you're suffering from low energy, maybe a lack of motivation, you're tired and you're fatigued all the time, odds are you're probably low in testosterone. And don't sweat it. It happens. It's everybody. Eventually it will happen, but you can fix it. You can take care of that. Go visit my friends over at Mentality. They are the best in the business. They're board-certified physicians. Are going to sit down with you. It's a real comfortable process. It's not invasive at all. And then from there on out, Anthony, you know this for a fact, they create your own program for you, and that's when you see the results.
Put your pride and your ego aside and go get some help. That's what Jamie and I did when we felt lethargic. We weren't getting into the gym consistently. We're competitive guys, and yet that competitive fire wasn't there like we wanted it to be. So we went down to Mentality. We talked to their people, and their people helped us. They got us on a program. Now we feel great. I challenged Kerry to a fight earlier today. It wasn't smart, but I felt good, Jamie. I felt real good about it, because I felt strong. I felt energetic. I felt ready to go, Fortunately, Kerry talked me out of it. But listen, the bottom line is you want to feel good again. You want to feel like a man again. You want to feel like you can accomplish anything, like taking on Kerry in a fight, even though it's not smart.
Not a great idea.
No, not at all. So head down to Mentality, 2 locations, South County and in Chesterfield, or you can check them out at lowtusa.com. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you. Blues Capitals tonight in the Capitol. 6 o'clock,
well done.
Puck drop. Thank you. 5 o'clock, pregame right here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers is in D.C. This is his last segment for the day today. So, Jamie, before we let you go, my man, keys to victory tonight for our Blues.
Well, the first one, and it's pretty obvious, is keep the power play going. You got, 5 goals in your last 3 games on the power play. Keep that going tonight against a Washington Capitals team that you're going to need some victories over. So keep the special teams operating the right way for the Blues. Next thing here is, for me, it's more offensive zone time of possession. In the last couple of games, it feels like it was not really there. They spent a lot of time in the neutral zone, a little bit of time off the rush, but not enough time with sustained offensive zone pressure on the opposition. I think that'll be a big part of it as well. And look, let's be honest, limit the turnovers. Yeah. Turnovers have hurt you tremendously. They hurt you a lot last game, and some of the turnovers at inopportune times definitely hurt the Blues. So they've got to clean up that part of their game. tonight against the Washington Capitals, that's a team that can turn and burn. They still have guys like Oshie. They got Kuznetsov. Alexander Ovechkin looks like he's going to be a game-time decision, but if he is in the lineup, you have to worry about him as well. So you want to make sure that you're limiting those opportunities. And the last key, it's not really a key, but it's a thought, is let's see what Gaudette has. Let's see what he's got to bring to the table here. He's scored a lot of goals in the American Hockey League. It doesn't necessarily mean that translates immediately to the NHL, but I am glad he's getting a shot with the third line. He'll get some serious minutes. He'll have an opportunity at least to get some shots on goal, and I hope he has a great game.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's what Kerry wrote down, too, so it's actually it's
verbatim.
Yeah.
Actually, it's almost
Identical.
Identical.
All right, let's do the
Utes.
Let's do the first. The Ute. First goal of the game.
Let's go, boys.
We need you to score more goals.
Get those loose pucks.
Thomas to Cairo. Score!
Goal!
No big deal. Game winner.
All right. Is Jamie still leading us here? He's got 2. The rest of us have 1, correct? All right, Jamie, you're the lead in the clubhouse. Go for it.
All right. I got a guy that's been elevated in the lineup, and the last time he played with these guys, he had quite a bit of success. Jake Neighbors is my pony for first goal of the game.
All right, Kerry.
Well, I kind of like the nickname for Adam Gaudette, and I think that him getting caught up, being the leading scorer, and moving up, he clearly should be the NHL leading goal scorer at some point in his career. He's going to.
So it translates.
It's usually how, Jamie, if I'm not mistaken, that's how it goes. You go from
Automatic.
Yeah. So he's going to score the first goal tonight. Give me the Godfather.
All right, Marshy.
Yeah, so the Blues, in the last 3 games they've played against the Washington Capitals, they have a power play goal in each of those last 3 games. I like how the power play's going about right now. Oscar Sundqvist in front of the net. Give me Oscar Sundqvist, first goal of the game.
Okay, all right. I like what you're saying there, Marsh. But Pavel Buchnevich is going to be the one that gets in front of the net tonight to score the first goal of the game, which will be a power play goal. He's got 15 shots in his last 5 games, 1 power play point, and 1 goal. Make it 2 tonight. The first goal of the game. There you have it.
Should have definitely went with Cairo.
No, Kerry, I think it's great what you did. You went narrative.
I did. But
Is this Kerry second-guessing himself?
it is.
It is.
See, this has never happened before.
It happens. Every now and then.
Well, Anthony, you got the Booch, and I will say this. The Booch was in rare form this morning.
Was he?
Yeah. I mean, in a good way. He was laughing, joking. He was trying to figure out who had the worst names in hockey, who had the best names in hockey, some of the worst buildings. He was asking John Kelly and I where the worst buildings are to broadcast and how much we hate them. And
really?
He told us his 3 buildings or cities he doesn't like to go to. I mean, we just couldn't stop talking today. So, if nothing else, Booch seems at least ready to go.
Can you share with us, if you remember, the stadiums he doesn't like playing in?
Well, it was more the cities, and now I had to correct him on one of them because he said Ottawa was one, but he's never stayed downtown in Ottawa. So the teams used to stay downtown. The rink is located, like if you're comparing it to St. Louis, it would be like staying downtown, but the rink is in Wentzville. And it used to be a long trek, so teams now, they built a hotel closer to the actual rink, so nobody goes downtown anymore.
Yeah.
So all you do is you're seeing farmland and stuff like that in Ottawa. There's nothing out where they're staying. So I said, well, Booch, until you've spent some time in downtown Ottawa, I'm going to just put an asterisk next to that one because you really haven't seen the city, and it's quite the city. But then he had Winnipeg and Calgary on there, and I had no pushback on those ones.
Did he say that he doesn't like Detroit because they play outdoors?
No, he did. Yeah, that was a great question, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
13
my
degrees
goodness.
this weekend. Be careful.
Felt bad for that. Don't worry, we're in a dome. Oh, boy. Okay. Been in a dome for, 30 years now?
Yeah,
Okay.
forever. It wasn't Ford Field, it was a Silver Dome.
Yeah.
So,
Dome being the key word.
yeah, I got through it. Maybe she was thrown off by the Ford Fields part. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
What throws you off about that?
It doesn't say dome. It doesn't say
Field implies
Ford
outside.
Does
Yeah.
it?
That's Detroit's fault. They
Yeah,
need to make
that-
sure
there you go.
they have the word dome somewhere
exactly.
in there.
The
Ford
Pontiac.
Field Dome.
Silver Dome.
There you go.
The Super Dome.
What
Makes
about
sense.
Las
The
Vegas?
Georgia Dome. Although now it's Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, what about
It's a
Allegiant Stadium?
though. Well, I guess.
What about
But stadium makes me
NRG
think of
Stadium?
baseball, like
Yeah.
wide open.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like Busch Stadium.
Either way, she knows now. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie, do you have your play for tonight, or you want to look real quick?
Oh, man. What did you guys pick for me yesterday, you savages? Because I know I guarantee I've been on a heater, so I guarantee you guys gave me the worst one available.
Yeah, I think we gave you
Yeah,
two
Jamie's
losses.
0-2, yeah.
We gave you two losses the last two nights. Gave you a couple of overs in hockey. So
You know what, though? I feel like Jamie might. Let's just see if he likes these plays. Obviously, high inside's 2020, but we had Edmonton, Toronto over 6.5 goals. That it was at 6.
that was 2 nights ago.
Okay, yeah. I would never pick an over-under in hockey, but that's fine. It's a good call.
Well, you did twice. Florida and Detroit over 6.5 goals.
Went to OT.
God.
Nowhere
3-2.
close.
Guys,
Nowhere close to
in the future, we're picking winners, okay? Stay away from the crap.
Or you
My
can
God.
pick.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, or you can remind me, Marshy. Sorry you're so busy.
We're reminding you right now. Vancouver, though, is too heavy of a favorite. You'd have to go with the money line. Or not the money line,
Okay,
the
one,
puck
don't
line.
tell me what to do.
All right, fair enough. Hey, guys, help me out. Sure, no problem. Here's your reminder and what you can do.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, I got the Predators tonight beating the Kings.
All right. There you go.
They're
Predators
plus 120.
Nice. Took a dog.
You're welcome.
Thank you. No, you're welcome. See you, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a
See
good
you,
call
boys. Have a
tonight.
good one.
Jamie will be on Bally Sports Midwest tonight as the Capitals and Blues square off at 6 o'clock. We'll have the game for you right here on the Blues Radio Network and 101 ESPN with the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Which team has the most pressure on them heading into the divisional rounds? I think you could have said the Cowboys last week in the wild card. So who's the Cowboys of this week? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Save money on your car or your home insurance with Allstate and Tracy Bibb with the Bibb Agency. They have some of the most competitive rates that you will find anywhere. And I can guarantee you this, with Allstate and Tracy Bibb, you're going to get that personal attention from your agent that most people just don't get. You know what I'm talking about. You got the 1-800 number. You call. You talk to somebody who doesn't know you. They don't know your family, the situation, anything about you, for that matter. Let alone if you have to call back again and you get somebody new and you have to explain everything all over again. Well, if you have a situation where, let's say you got a fender bender, side of the road, like it happened to my daughter, and you got to pick up, call 1-800 number. You don't have 15 minutes to jump through hoops and figure it out. You want to talk to somebody immediately that can help you and guide you in the right direction, and that is Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency. They are the best in the business. Tracy is fantastic and supports so many great things in our community as well. and she just takes great care of me and my family, and I know you'll get the same treatment. And all you have to do is give her a call for a free non-committal quote. That number is 314-328-4260. Again, 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in good hands with Tracy Bibb.
Yeah, I got a mic drop for Mr. Anthony Stalter, Sharks fan / Falcons fan. Keep my boy C.J. Stroud's name out of your mouth, please, sir. That man is going to run all over Baltimore's defense. You don't need Tank Dell. He's got plenty of weapons. He's got Anderson on defense. I understand you're so salty about your 28-3 defeat, but listen to this, buddy. Tom Brady whooped your butt, and C.J. Stroud's going to do it to your boy Lamar here this weekend. Have a good night.
Wait, I missed the first part of that. Can you play the whole thing again? As soon as he mentioned 28-3, I knew he had his sights on me. But what was the other crap he was spilling on his mouth? Go ahead.
You want the whole thing?
I want the whole thing, Marsh.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I got a mic drop for Mr. Anthony Stalter, Sharks fan / Falcons fan. Keep my boy C.J. Stroud's name out of your mouth, please, sir. That man is going to run all over Baltimore's defense. You don't need Tank Dell. He's got plenty of weapons. He's got Anderson on defense. I understand you're so salty about your 28-3 defeat, but listen to this, buddy. Tom Brady whooped your butt, and C.J. Stroud's going to do it to your boy Lamar here this weekend. Have a good night.
Okay, a couple of things here. First of all, I love C.J. Stroud. I haven't said anything about the Texans. In fact, I had the Texans last week in the upset there with the Browns.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're all mad at me. Second of all, it's not my fault or the Falcons' fault that Tom Brady made some sort of deal that allowed him to have the life he had, you know? So it's not my fault on that. Lastly, you're not beating Lamar.
Yeah, probably not. and here's the thing. Dalvin Cook was activated. Melvin Gordon was waived. We talked about it last week not last week, the last week of the season when they signed Dalvin Cook. I thought maybe you should probably get him a couple reps just to see where he is physically. He probably is the best running back on that roster.
Yeah.
And one Mark Andrews has been practicing and is probably going to play. I don't know if we remember, Mark Andrews is indeed their best receiver on the team. He's the tight end, but he's the best receiver on the team. He's the guy that Lamar looks for at all times. So if he's healthy, he's missed a significant part of the season with an injury, and now he's potentially going to be back as well. Yeah, the rich just keep getting richer.
I can't believe this guy brought up the Falcons. I can't believe you do that to you.
What did they do?
It's not Matt Ryan's fault he can't read a defense.
He can read a defense all right. He just
how about
coach by incompetency.
There now we're talking because the Falcons are potentially looking at who? He's on his second interview.
Only the greatest head coach of all time.
Some would say.
Many would say.
Some.
Did that guy quote Will Smith, too?
Yeah, I think he did.
What part?
That's tough.
What did I
Keep your
miss?
name or keep CJ Stroud's name
out your mouth.
out of your mouth.
Boy, if we're going to quote
didn't
the
hear the-
Ultima Beta, I don't know.
He didn't hear the mentality commercial earlier.
No,
huh?
he didn't.
You're all right, buddy.
All right. No, good clean fun on that. Good, clean fun on that. I appreciate the mic drop there. So, Carey, if we were to say that the Cowboys were under the most pressure last week in Wild Card Week because of the issues they've had in the playoffs, who's under the most pressure this week? What team?
I mean, it's got to be Buffalo. I mean, you're at home. Again, we've talked about it. Josh Allen has been in that conversation for top 5 quarterbacks. You lost last year at home versus Cincinnati in a game you probably should have won. You're at home again versus Kansas City. You're the 2 seed. They're the 3 seed. You're the division winner. I think the pressure is on them to perform because they have not yet gotten to that AFC Championship. They haven't played in the AFC Championship game with Josh Allen, have they, or am I mistaken? I don't feel like they have. Have they?
Or did they lose in
They lost to
Arrowhead?
Kansas City.
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
know
AFC
why I can't
Championship
remember
game.
that game.
The 13 seconds game?
No, that
So
was
the
a
year before.
divisional game.
Okay, that was because that's the only one that we think about. We don't.
Well, what happened in the previous year? That was the previous year that they went to the title game?
That was the
At Arrowhead?
COVID year that
Well, that's
the
why we
Chiefs
don't
played
remember.
the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl and lost.
I thought
And they
that
lost to
season.
they beat the Bills in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still
Boy,
the Buffalo Bills.
I remember the Browns game when what's his face had to go in there, the backup quarterback, and pick up the first down on the rushing play. I
Was it
remember, of
Gabbert?
course, Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
I of course
No.
It wasn't
Not
him.
Gabbert.
It was
Not Gabbert. What is his name?
it wasn't Chase Daniel.
What's his
No.
name? No, he just retired.
Yeah. Chad Henne?
Yes.
Chad Henne.
Henny.
I remember that game. I remember the 13-second game, of course. I remember
I don't
the
remember the
Patriots
conference
game
finals, the championship game.
when the defensive end
Jumped offside. D Ford
jumped
offsides.
off offside and they got the
They got the interception,
I can't,
yeah.
for the life of me, I can't remember that Bills Chiefs
It was COVID.
title game.
No one remembers much, I would assume.
I remember the Packers Bucks game. Scotty Miller scored that touchdown right before half.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was that hammered? That may have been. I may have been
34 to
hammered.
28.
Mandela effect.
Yeah, maybe.
34-28. They lost to the Chiefs.
Okay, I'll believe you. I believe you.
But still.
So yes,
They have been, yeah. They have been to a championship game, but they haven't been to a Super Bowl. So, but in order to get there, you're going to have to beat the Chiefs this weekend. I believe they're favored in this game.
Bills
the Buffalo
slight
Bills
favorite.
You're at home, and it's an opportunity to again prove that you are Josh Allen, one of the elite quarterbacks. You know, we talk so much about, well, Lamar hasn't done. Josh Allen hasn't done much either. And so I think that we have to consider that as well. So he for me, that's the team under the most pressure this weekend.
I still got to go with the Ravens.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be pressure against the Texans.
Well, okay, but
I think they had the most pressure.
you're the number 1 seed. The last time they had the number 1 seed with Lamar, and that was a really good team too. They lost to, I believe, Tennessee. That was the Vrabel year where Tennessee made a run. They beat the Patriots, Tom Brady's last game in Foxborough.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them, went on the road, beat Baltimore, and then went to Arrowhead in the NFC Championship game. That was in 2019, or AFC Championship game, excuse me, in 2019, and lost to the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs went on and beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. That was the last time they were the number 1 seed. Everything lined up perfectly. Lamar, big year. That might have been his MVP year, and they fell flat.
Yeah.
You know, despite this guy crushing me earlier for no damn reason, I will agree that CJ Stroud, could you see CJ Stroud going into Baltimore and beating them?
I can't.
CJ Stroud's had an outstanding year.
He has.
He's had one of those years where it's like anything could happen. He has just been he's been that good. Would I predict it? No, I don't. I think Houston not having a running game will be a big issue against Baltimore this weekend. And I think that this Lamar, this is the best version of Lamar because he actually has an OC and a system that fits him perfectly and allows him to not just run around and please Lamar save us, but actually make plays within the confines of the system. So I don't I'm not predicting that they lose, but they absolutely have the most pressure based on the expectations of they shouldn't lose. They're a big favorite. They had this great year. Everybody's now, they're the number one team after beating San Francisco. Mm-hmm. This should be a cakewalk. Maybe not a cakewalk, but this should be a win for them.
This should be a game where C.J. Stroud, again, looks like a rookie quarterback. And it's not – I mean, I think D'Amico Ryans has done a fantastic job this year. In my opinion, Coach of the Year. I know Kevin Stefanski has had 4 quarterbacks and found a way to make it to the playoffs. I think that's outstanding. But a rookie head coach with a rookie quarterback – a team that was drafting second and third in the previous year's draft to make it to the playoffs, to make it to the second round of the playoffs, I think he's done an outstanding job. I just feel like you run into a team in Baltimore that is poised and prepared to be a championship caliber team. They had a week off, so guys got a chance to get healthier. Again, Mark Andrews going to be back potentially this weekend. They feel like, to me, just a team that is going to just explode throughout this entire postseason and prove to everyone that they are the best team in the league.
Could you also make an argument for the Lions?
That's a team that I thought about. I definitely thought that the Lions could be under pressure. I just don't feel like Dan Campbell feels pressure. I feel like he applies pressure. Mm-hmm. I don't know that he's so much fit. I don't know. Sometimes when you are a younger player, we almost say, like, you're too dumb to even know how important this is.
Yeah.
Like, you don't feel fear because you don't know that this could be the one and only. Dan Campbell strikes me as a guy, not that he's dumb, but just he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, the pressure doesn't bother him, not because he doesn't know the importance of it, but the hell with it. It's just football at the end of the day. We're having fun doing something we love, and I think that that's the mindset that he takes, and his team kind of goes that way as well.
If I take the 200-foot view, Marsh, I could say this situation, this season has been incredible. It has been everything Lions fans have wanted and have pleaded for. They host a playoff game against Matthew Stafford. They win that one. And because Dallas lost to Green Bay earlier in the day, they know they're going to host a game. Now, instead of the defending NFC champion Eagles, it's a Buccaneers team that, they're playing with house money, but nobody really believes in them. It's a matchup the Lions should win. I think the expectations being what they are for that city for this season, I think the Lions, there's a lot of pressure there too.
I don't think there is. I always thought heading into this season that the Lions were going to take the next step. I don't see them as a Super Bowl team just yet. I think they're slowly building up to be that type of team. But I don't see them having any pressure. Like, they just won a game in 30 years, like a playoff game in 30 years. They did it, right? What pressure is there if they lose, like... You think they're going to go 30 years without winning a playoff game to winning the Super Bowl?
They might. They're one of those organizations. I mean,
the Bengals went to the Super Bowl after winning their first playoff game in 30-plus years. So it could happen. But because of that, from an organizational standpoint, I don't see there being any pressure.
Does the matchup not change your viewpoint on that, though?
Now, they should
because
win this game.
Playing.
But, there shouldn't be... I don't think that the pressure, if we're comparing it to other teams, it's not. I don't think it's up there. Yeah. Like, if they lose, they're the Lions, right? They're supposed to lose in the playoffs.
Not this version of the Lions, though.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not this version.
I feel like you could have said the same thing for when Matt Stafford was with Megatron. Like, that version of the Lions shouldn't lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the Lions. I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl. Like, I just don't expect that.
Yep.
I think
it's a fun story if they do.
I don't think they win the Super Bowl.
That's why I don't think there's pressure.
I think they make it to the NFC Championship game, though. And I agree with you. If you lose to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team in the second round, you might be kind of at home after having the great win last week. You won by 1 point, so what? You won.
Yeah.
The great win you had last week, how important that was for the organization to come and have a letdown. If you get smoked by Baker Mayfield-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that is probably popular.
It would sting, for sure.
Even worse, it's some last-second field goal collapse, whatever. I lived in Detroit. I feel Lions fans like there's when you root for a bad Marsh, you know this being a Vikings fan.
Come on.
when you know you root for a team that's cursed, you're just waiting for it.
Oh, you mean
Eventually it's going to
You're
happen.
just waiting for
the
it.
second year I was a Vikings fan, right? Man, Case Keenum.
Was that Blair Walsh?
No. So that was the year before.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. They missed that field goal. I was actually a Rams fan at the time. And so I was making fun of all my friends that were Vikings fans because they ended up losing. I thought it was hilarious. And then the next year I became a Vikings fan because Sam Bradford was a quarterback. But so it wasn't that year. It was the second year that Case Keenum finds Stephon Diggs and for the Minnesota Miracle or the Minneapolis Miracle. And so I'm feeling real good going in to Philly, going up against Nick Foles, who actually didn't play that well in the playoffs up until that point.
He was terrible the week before against Atlanta.
So I'm feeling good. Could be the first time a team hosts the Super Bowl at home. They take on they'd probably lose against the Patriots if they were in that game because Tom Brady was unstoppable, at least for the majority of that game. But, man, I was feeling super good, and then they got blown out. Got blown out. So, yes, right off the bat, I know exactly that feeling.
You know who I watched that game with?
Who?
Kerry Davis.
Really?
We're over at Westport Social. I
Yes,
think.
we did.
For we used to do these NFC AFC championship parties, and
Do you think you mentioned like a missed field goal or whatever? If the Lions were to lose, do you think it comes down to somebody on the field, or does it come down to a Dan Campbell mismanaged something?
You know, I wouldn't count him like going for it on fourth down and them coming up short as a like mismanagement. I would say then it's more on the players.
I would put it would be on Jared Goff. We saw it almost unfold against the Rams. What the hell was he doing throwing that ball backwards? Like he
started to pucker.
The pressure, oh yeah. Like the pressure that it started just kind of squeezing and closing in on him. He threw the ball back. I was like, what are you doing, sir?
That could have been a disaster.
What the hell is that? So if it's anything, it's probably him feeling that pressure. Maybe it was added pressure playing against Matthew Stafford, having the trade from the Rams. Maybe there was more pressure there on him than he let on. Maybe he'll be relaxed, got the wind under his belt, and they can go out.
Pressure.
Yeah.
They got pressure on him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pressure any quarterback, obviously, but Jared Goff especially, he will make big mistakes if you get after him.
Yes.
And Todd Bowles, say what you want, but Todd Bowles is a heck of a defensive mind.
He's dialed in.
He's dialed in. He's going to have a bunch of blitzes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun weekend in football. It's the Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next. We just got done talking about the 4 playoff games this weekend, and Kerry, I am stoked to watch these games. It's going to be a lot of fun. And when it comes to NFL playoffs, you've got to win one game at a time. Well, at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, they've got all your favorite bets like money line, point spread, plus all sorts of prop bets that you can play when it comes to these NFL divisional matchups.
Yeah, Anthony, and right now, every day that there's an NFL playoff game, FanDuel is giving away to all customers a no-sweat same-game parlay. That means when you combine all your bets for a chance at a bigger payday, you'll get bonus bets back if your SGP doesn't hit. Just visit FanDuel.com/fast. If you don't already have an account, it's going to be great fun. Baltimore Ravens, we talked about it. Mark Andrews potentially coming back. Going to be hell for the Houston Texans this weekend. It's going to be a great game. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Kerry Davis, I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, the big news of the day is that the Cowboys are keeping Mike McCarthy for some weird reason. I know we talked about it earlier today, but guys, what are they doing? What are they doing?
I really do think that this is Jerry Jones knowing that he doesn't want to give up complete control of his team. So that would take off Bill Belichick. That would take off Jim Harbaugh, maybe even Mike Vrabel. If Mike Vrabel wants more control and final say of the roster, which after what happened in Tennessee, he probably will. I think this is just Jerry Jones saying, do I have it that bad with Mike McCarthy, who is he's got the highest winning percentage of any head coach now in Dallas Cowboys history. He won the division last year. Number 2 seed. Yeah, it was a disaster. There's no way around that. Sunday was a disaster. Dak Prescott, though, is coming off his best year. If I don't want to give up control, do I want to start over with Ben Johnson? Do I want to start over with one of these other coordinators, or do I just keep the guy that I have?
So what do you do to win?
You get to work, man. You get to work.
How does this team get better?
Defensively, I think you need to add some linebackers.
You got one that you got playing DN. Why don't you put him there?
You could do that too. I mean, the secondary can certainly use some help.
They should get better. Diggs will be back next year,
sure.
So maybe that'll help. You can put Bland in the slot. Like there are things. Gilmore is still there. Should be.
Yeah. They have more than enough on offense. They got receivers. They got tight ends.
A running back would be beneficial.
You could get a compliment to Tony Pollard, which is not going to be that expensive in terms of draft capital. You can find somebody in the middle rounds.
It's weird because I just feel like this is the best version. This is the best that they will get. I still think you need another receiver because I like Brandon Cooks. Yeah, I like Brandon Cooks, but I CeeDee Lamb, I like CeeDee Lamb. He's going to catch a lot of passes. But Brandon Cooks and Gallup, they kind of don't feel like big enough threats now, and that's sounds like crazy talk because Brandon Cooks, wherever he goes, has success. He has had success at 5 different stops. He's been in 5 or 6 different places, but he has success every single time.
Yeah.
I just still think you need another receiver. Ferguson showed up. Now, he was a surprise for me. I thought, they were going to struggle a little bit at the tight end position, but Jake Ferguson did a fantastic job. I still think they are a receiver and a running back, and that O-line has to either figure out a way to stay healthy or get younger because 4 years ago, they were the best offensive line in the league, and they never play an entire season because they're always hurt. So you got to do something at the offensive line position to get healthier and, get a receiver and a running back, I think you'll be solidified. But if they stand pat, you're going to get more of the same next year.
Guys, the Blues are taking on the Washington Capitals tonight. They have done pretty well against the Capitals. I mentioned earlier in the show that in 3 straight games against Washington, they have power play goals. Now, the power play is starting to get better under Drew Bannister. What are you seeing from this team as of late when it comes to the man advantage?
Well, Drew Bannister wanted to get guys in front of the net. And when you watch Oscar Sundqvist score the other night on the power play, he got in front of the net.
Yep.
Jamie, we asked Jamie the other day, when you aren't getting in front of the net, when you're not doing it consistently, whether it's power play or not, what typically is the problem? And it's guys not really knowing when to get in front of the net. It's not just go and post up and you're good because now you're somebody that's also a movable target here. But getting to the point where you have the right timing and the right anticipation to get in front of the net because there could be a play to be made. Perhaps, Jamie knows obviously more than we do, but perhaps that's what's finally happened here with this power play in that they've got the right timing. They're getting in front. They're picking up some of those rebound opportunities or deflecting passes or deflecting shots, and now getting in front of that. But it could be just as simple as shoot more and get in front.
That sounds like a pretty good recipe. In order
That's
to
what I
score,
told Drew Bannister when he wanted to make a change.
And he finally listened. Good for him.
Yeah.
Shoot the puck. Start there. If you don't shoot it, you ain't going to score. At least I don't think that's possible.
Well, hopefully there's enough Blues fans on the road that will yell, shoot the puck.
Shoot.
So
They'll be fine.
I don't know. You look at the splits, and they don't shoot the puck as much on the road. Maybe that's because there's not enough fans there wearing the blue note. I don't know.
All you need is one that's loud.
Just one person.
One
One
person that's
fan,
loud.
but it has to be at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It can't be when they don't have the puck. Yeah.
Clearly, right? Because then you're telling the other team to shoot, I would assume. You don't want that misunderstanding. So shoot when they're in the offensive zone, preferably.
For sure.
Sure.
With the puck on their stick.
There's got to be a Blues fan in D.C. By the way, I know you've been to D.C. a lot. Have you been to D.C.?
I have a few times, yes.
So when I was going back and forth to Bristol in 2019 to host an ESPN NFL show on Sundays, there were times where I got rerouted because of bad weather. And one of the times it got so late, I got rerouted to D.C. and I had to stay in D.C. overnight. And I went out, I forget which airport I was at, but I went out, got in a cab, and we're talking about like 12:30 probably 12:30 in the morning now. I'm tired. I hosted the show on in Bristol on Sunday, hosted our show, which was I think 4 hours, and I think that's when Jamie disappeared, so I was doing it by myself. So I was wiped, right? All this traveling. I get in this cab, and I got my GPS on the phone. I'm like, hey, I'm going to whatever hotel I was staying at that night. Oh, cab driver's like, oh, no problem. He starts to take me around. I'm looking at it, and he's taking me further and further away from the hotel, like he's doing one of those deals.
Yeah.
I was so tired and so ticked off. I said, hey, where are you taking me? He goes, to your hotel. I go, no, you're not. I go, if you don't take me directly to the hotel, I'm going to sit behind you and strangle you with your own seatbelt. Okay, yes, sir. Like, I was done.
Where was he going?
I was done. I don't know.
Wherever he was going,
it was a rough area because I'm starting to look around. I'm like, this is not great. Yeah, I did. I'm like, I will strangle. And I slid over too. I go, I will strangle you with your own seatbelt. He all of a sudden I'm following GPS. He's like, we're good. I was ticked. That was my only experience in DC though. I didn't see anything. Like, woke up, caught my flight the next day, got to the airport, and that was it. But I was frustrated.
Oh yeah.
All right.
A little tired.
A little cranky. Chris Kerber's going to join us next. We'll talk about this Blues Capitals matchup here on 101 ESPN.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The verdict is in. STL Today is named under law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. Thank you, St. Louis, and we vow to continue our mission to not only deliver exceptional results, but to change the way companies do business and make St. Louis a safer place, one case at a time.
When you're injured, you need the best. Call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Hey, folks, Chris Kerber with you here. And look, nobody wants to buy an HVAC system, or nobody wants to call for repairs on them as well. But there's a reality in that they are machines, and when you do need some help, you need someone you can trust. And that's why you call every single time the folks at Classic Air Care. Look, for all your HVAC needs, ClassicAirCare.com. You want to see what they do around your neighborhood? Check out their Google ratings. A 4.8 rating with reviews like this. From the initial call into fixing the problem, things went great. My furnace was cold when I woke up, and Sean got there quickly to get my home warm again. Nice work. That came from Mary. Folks, when you invite somebody like this into your house to take care of something, you're inviting them to take care of your family. They understand that responsibility. I've met with these people. They've come to my house. They will come to your house and take care of you as well. When the people are coming in, you're not getting an out-of-town company. You're getting local people. You're getting your neighbors, people that are working hard for a living to come into your house, and they want to get the job done right the first time. And if there's ever an issue, you call them right up. They're right back out there. This is the kind of people you want taking care of your family. This is the kind of people you want taking care of your home because they care and will do it right. So trust me on this when I tell you that, again, nobody wants to buy an HVAC system, and nobody wants to repair them. But the reality in life is they're going to break down. And when they do, the company to call is Classic Air Care, and check them out online at ClassicAirCare.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues take on the Capitals tonight. Pregame starts at 5 o'clock. Puck drop is at 6. You can catch the action right here on 101 ESPN. We're going to talk with voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, Chris Kerber. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by
Saliga
Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for Curbside with the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Blues in D.C. tonight to take on the Capitals. Joining us via the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line is our guy, Chris Kerber. We'll be on the call tonight with the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Kerbs, how are you?
Anthony, I'm doing great. How are you today?
Doing good, Kerbs. Where's D.C. rank in terms of your cities that you like to visit during the Blues season?
Top 3, top 5 easily for me.
Now, you're a sightseer?
Well, I am, but I'm a history guy when it comes to this city. I'm an air and space buff, so I didn't get to today. This is one of the first trips in a long time. I haven't made a couple hours just to go see if there's anything new at the Air and Space Museum because they just got done doing the renovations at the Smithsonian location here on the mall. But if people haven't seen the memorials, and maybe it's been a while since you've been to Washington, D.C., and you haven't seen the Korean War Memorial, which I think is one of the most amazing ones, or maybe it's the World War II memorial where every star represents 10. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like a fire truck's coming down the street. I stepped outside because there was too much noise on the inside. So. Hey, you know what? I don't care how old we get. As engine company number 2 goes past me. I don't care how old we get, but fire trucks are freaking cool. Fire trucks are still cool, and especially if you get a chance to see the hook and ladders. But that thing's gone around the block like 4 times. I think it might be lost. It's just a great city for that. There's fantastic restaurants. There's some nightlife. There's things you can do. I mean, and it's really a cool city to go to. So this is always one of my favorites. And I don't know, that may change. It sounds like they're trying to get some new a new arena built over in Alexandria, Virginia, and so that may be progressing. So I don't know how much longer they're actually going to be in downtown D.C.
Curbs, Adam Gaudette is getting the opportunity to play. Hadn't played in the league since April of 22. What can we expect from him?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you, Kerry. Here's a guy that's played 218 NHL games and has 70 points. So they're bringing in a guy that's got some experience and he knows how to play. He's been lighting it up in the American League, but he hasn't played in the NHL in 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. So, you're talking April of 22. I did not play in the NHL at all last year. So, I look at this one like you can't beat this. I'm telling you guys, for 15 minutes. Like, what the hell? Right? Now I got guys on like little moped scooters that
this is unbelievable.
Shooting bottle rockets out the back of them. I'm not kidding you. I was in a real quiet spot until but he'll be on the third line. Now, I think more importantly, what's interesting today is, they're moving some skill up the lineup. They're going to put Kevin Hayes at center, and obviously he'll split time at center with Braden Shen on that second line. I like Jake Neighbors going on that top line. It just made more sense to me than Kasperi Kapanen at the time. So I like that. It's going to give Oscar Sundqvist a chance back in the middle to play more minutes. I definitely like that because the guy's just a beast. And Gaudette's going to get an opportunity. And you know what? I'm actually amazed with as few injuries as this team has had this year, with Kasperi Kapanen being the first real big one, right?
Right.
I'm really quite amazed that how guys that have had opportunities here just haven't been able to take advantage of it. Sammy Blais being one, in and out of the lineup again. I mean, when you're calling a guy up from the minor leagues and you're a full-time NHLer that's getting scratched, I mean, that's a kick in the shorts, right?
Right.
And so, guys, I'm a little shocked by this. I mean, we haven't seen many guys do what Kessel's done, and that's just take the reins and force decisions.
Curbs, what about the decision for Bannister to reunite Krug, and Kessel? Noting that they played well together there beforehand. What do you think Coach Bannister's thinking with this?
Yeah, I think the last game or two he had a chance to see where Justin Falk was, maybe in his recovery. I have not talked to Justin. And typically when you talk to an athlete at this point in time, like, no, I'm fine. Well, he doesn't look quite like his old self just yet. So I think this is a pretty good move. Obviously, Drew Bannister is clearly likes having a lefty and a righty on both sides when it comes to his defenseman there. But I don't know. Like, I think Scott Perunovich, who I'm sure is battling some soreness and stuff right now, is a lot of hockey he's been playing at this level for the first time. I think he's got to find another level to his game, to be honest with you, because I think in the last couple of games, you can see him skate well, you can see him pass the puck well, but the teams have been able to get in on him and bang him around a little bit, and that's not good for him. So it's not just about Justin Falk. There's better play, especially in that bottom four all around, that needs to be passed around for this team to be better. Because I was looking at this, guys. We can get on the power play as much as we want this year. We could really attack that power play, and we have. But start looking at the penalty kill. When you're talking about 111 times shorthanded, the fewest times in the National Hockey League, and your penalty kill isn't even at 80%, the penalty kill is still a problem. And so not as good as it needs to be. And sure, will that get masked if your power play picks it up like it has been? I mean, it's been 25% since Bannister took over, but I still think the penalty kill can be more impactful for this team.
All right, Kerb, so we'll let you go before a space shuttle lands right next to you or something next.
Yeah, no, like you know what I'm waiting? Like at some point in time, I'm just going to wait. Like there's going to be some crow that's going to land on this line pipe right in front of me, and then it's just going to start speaking English or something.
Kerbs, have a great call tonight. We'll hear you later on tonight in the confines there of what is it, the Capital One Arena? Is that where they play?
Yeah, looks like Ovechkin may be back tonight, so
okay.
we'll get a chance to see the grade 8.
Well, there you go. Perfect. All right, Kerbs, have a great call.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
That's Chris Kerber here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. It does go without fail. I mean, you step outside and
you find a quietest place, and then it's no longer quiet.
Right.
You know, what the hell are you got? What is this? It always
outside
happens.
should be good.
Yeah.
Fire truck goes by. Scooters.
Sound like an airplane, like one of the propeller planes.
Right. Unreal. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. We're going to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage next. So if you got a Hot Take or Hot Garbage, send in 314-399-9646 to the Air Comfort Service text line. We'll do that next in the Fastlane.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor that owns a business or needs recycling, you need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They're a great company that will help you with that. They're tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Job site cleanups for contractors can be a mess. Set up a business account with Scrap Mart Metals to recycle the metal. It's one less thing you have to worry about during the cleanup. You'd be amazed how much Scrap Metals adds up and can help you and your business's cash flow. It's easy to get it done. Scrap Mart Metals Recycling will make your job easier. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it, whether it's copper wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron, you name it. It is recycling made easy. They offer a convenient drive-on scale, and they have the highest payout, and you will always get the top dollar for your scrap metals. Just go to scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you going. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell him Carey sent you.
Time to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
From the 618, Jordan Kyrou has not been the same since he got selected for the All-Star game. Definitely some good signs, but he hasn't elevated since then. Not slamming him, just my perspective. Let's go Blues. Hot take or hot garbage?
I don't think anybody knows what we want Jordan Kyrou to be.
Yeah, we do.
Connor McDavid?
Yeah, can he score 50 goals?
No.
Okay, well, that's what we want.
Okay. Well, then he's not that, and that's a hot take, and we're good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want. 50 goals. At least.
You're not gonna get that.
I want it. Why not? He's getting paid.
Go get
money.
Go get McKinnon.
We got
David.
We got Kyrou. He's
or Mick Crosby.
One of the mix.
I think people just want consistency. Really, just consistency. Hard work on a consistent basis. Even if he doesn't put up points on the stat sheet, just consistent hard work in the corners, back check, just a consistency. I feel like that's all people want. Like, it's unreasonable to think that this guy's going to be going to have 2 points a game. He's going to score 50 goals. Now, maybe later down the line, that's very possible. It could. But I think it just comes down to that work ethic, being in the right place, playing both sides of the puck.
Here's a hot take for you. Jordan Kyrou and Colton Parayko will never live up to Blues fans' expectations.
Okay.
Why do they have those expectations, though?
Contract?
Because Doug Armstrong has put those expectations on them.
You can't get paid and not be a Hall of Famer.
This is true.
In any franchise, in any city.
When you allocate the largest portion of a salary to a specific person, the expectation is Hall of Fame, multi All-Star games,
Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I've been in St. Louis a long time now.
That comes with the territory. It is what it is.
If any athlete gets paid here, and they're not a Hall of Famer on a game-to-game basis, we've got an issue with him. He's not living up to the expectation.
I'll throw one more possible issue to all of this is that you gave him 8x8, right? 64 million. I believe that's the math.
Yeah.
Okay,
good math.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. 64?
Yeah, 8 times 8.
8 times 8, 64. Yep. Got it. Math checks out.
You made me question myself there for a second. Alex Pietrangelo, 7 years, $61,600,000. Which one would you rather have right now?
Alex Pietrangelo.
So maybe I wouldn't say that's at the top of the list.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people wish that the money maybe went somewhere else.
It's the David Perron, Nicoletti thing.
And it's the possibility that you could have potentially had Matthew Tkachuk, too.
I tried to stop you from saying it.
What?
We don't want to talk about that. He's not here.
Boy, could you imagine Matthew Tkachuk and Alex Pietrangelo on the same team? Holy smokes.
Or maybe you don't have Pietrangelo, right? But you do.
No, I want both.
You do end up getting Matthew Tkachuk, who played with Robert Thomas in the OHL.
Good friends and want to play together at some point again. That's what Robert said.
Yeah, Marsh, you're not wrong.
I think that is what is contributing to some of the frustration.
That's fair.
Just got to score, man.
So
you're getting paid a lot of money. You got to put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah, you got to be a Hall of Famer.
You really do. It's just the bottom line.
You think I'm exaggerating?
No,
I'm not.
I'm dead serious. I agree.
Like the expectation when you get paid,
no question.
You better perform.
You got to be a Hall of Famer, or damn near close to it.
I'm not saying all fans, but most fans view that way.
I think pretty much all.
Most fans. Because it's easy to do. You're like, I'm looking at my paycheck. I'm rooting for you. Well, I know what your paycheck is.
I think it's a comparison of paid players. Like when you look at players that when you're at the top of your team's salary cap, when you're the highest percentage of your team's money that's allocated to you, the expectation is you score goals and you be great. Entertain me. Do your job. And if you're not doing it well enough, it becomes frustrating.
I mean, Matt Holliday had a $100 million deal. I remember when that was an issue. People were ticked off. That $100 million deal for Matt Holliday was a steal. But people were ticked with that. Yeah.
Well, bottom line is Jordan Kyrie's still second on your team in points.
Not good enough. It's not first.
Well, the guy who's first is also getting paid the same amount of money.
He is. So is he a Hall of Famer?
I'll let it go.
Like, are people upset at Pavel Buchnevich the same way they're upset?
How much is the Buchinator making?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about the money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar.
Follow the money.
There you go.
From the 314, hot take or hot garbage, the Cards proved last year was a fluke and dominate the Central this year.
I think that's a hot take.
You think it's hot take?
Yeah, because I think the NL Central's hot garbage.
Oh, come on, Anthony. So if all teams...
Come on, Anthony.
So you think the Cardinals are going to dominate the division this year?
I think they could, based on the fact that the division stinks.
They could have last year. Why didn't they?
They stunk.
So they did enough this offseason to not stink?
No, but...
Nobody else did anything.
Nobody else did either. The Pirates aren't trying. The Reds aren't really trying. They've got good young talent. That's the difference between the Reds and the Pirates, but they're not. Nobody's trying there. The Cubs have been weird. They still need to bring back Cody Bellinger. They're not complete just because they made one Krug Kessel move and signed Imanyaga. And the Brewers are literally trying to get rid of their best players. That's the NL Central.
Sounds like a 90-win season to me.
No, what?
I mean, dominate is the only thing in that statement there where you're like, but.
So we're saying they go from losing 91 to winning 90 plus?
Oh, no, I was saying the Brewers. They'll get rid of all their players and still win 90 games.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. You were talking about
I was joking,
gotcha. But it's possible.
Not.
It's in play.
Possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Kerry, I mean, you're focused on the Cardinals. I'm just focusing on the NL Central.
Because all you need to do is
win the division and get bounced in the first round.
Man,
I don't think that's the plan.
I can't wait till April rolls around, late March. It's gonna be a toxic time.
You know what's gonna happen though? You know what's gonna happen, Marsh? Same thing that happens every year. They're gonna have a decent spring training. We're like, I was wrong. I was wrong. The rotation's
the Grapefruit
better.
League champions.
It's better than I thought.
They won the Grapefruit League last year.
I'm excited. And then when they're 15 and 15 in April, like, they're lying in the weeds. And then,
Yeah, we'll have the conversation. Can they win more than 4 games in a row?
Right.
Oh, how's that going?
But hey, you know what? Maybe they won't lose 4 games in a row.
Mm-hmm. Blues style.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see them
right in the middle
doing the Blues thing. Go ahead, one more.
From the 636, hot take or hot garbage, Jordan Love will win at least 2 MVPs in his career.
Ooh. I like that. At least 2 feels like a lot.
Boy, Lamar is just about to earn his second.
Yeah.
I can't go there.
But Lamar's only been in the league, this is his 5th year, 6th year?
Yeah. I don't think Jordan Love's going to be
Jordan Love will be
guy.
knocking on the door of an MVP. At least one. So
He's a really good player. I like him a lot.
I will say hot garbage because 2 is hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if 2, then he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And they've done it 3 times in a row. So
right.
But I think it'll be difficult.
We have the Gauntlet coming up next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Before I came to the station today, I went down to the Missouri Athletic Club. I hadn't been there in the last couple of days. I had been feeling under the weather, got busy during the mornings, but kind of missed it. Kind of miss it when I incorporate the Missouri Athletic Club into my daily routine. Got my workout in, I didn't have enough time to go up to the business center, but I usually do. I enjoy meeting the people down there, or seeing familiar faces. I love talking with other club members and seeing what they got going on. Maybe having lunch there, or again, kind of, getting my routine in when it comes to prep work and everything. Missouri Athletic Club, they got great events going on. Whether it's a downtown spot or the West Clubhouse, they always have things going on each and every month for whether you're a family member or a business person, whatever you use the club for, they've got options for you. That's my MAC, the Missouri Athletic Club.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
402, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. We have Eric, who is our latest contestant in the Gauntlet. What's up, Eric?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good today. How about yourself? You having a good Thursday?
I am. I see it's a little bit warmer out. You and CD got the guns out today. Love it.
Well,
it's a little warmer in here.
It's good. It's the winter time, but the thermostat.
Just getting a little antsy for the warm weather. I love it.
The thermostat is not working in here, Eric. So we
smoke show in here.
Yep, it is.
It's always a smoke show in there.
Eric, you're pumping us up, man. I like this. This feels good. We're gonna have you on more. Eric, would you like to take on CD, Marsh, or me today?
You know, I put names in a hat, and I pulled CD's name. I know it doesn't seem fair. He's in there a lot, but let's go, CD.
All right, I like it.
All right, here we go.
Eric, is this your first time in the Gauntlet?
This is my first time in about 7 or 8 years. I was on with Randy when DeMarco and Michelle were on the show.
Wow, that's a long time ago. Okay, so that was the fight you were still participating in. So this is your first Gauntlet opportunity.
First Gauntlet, yeah.
Excellent. Well, welcome aboard. Go ahead, tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin it up, Marshy.
We'll see what category you get. What category are you hoping for?
Well, I'm an opportunist, so hockey with CD because I'm kind of weak there too. So maybe we can get 2 lax minds on that. Let's go.
Okay, baseball is the category.
Ooh,
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. If you're gonna take a category that you liked and would it be baseball?
I think so. Baseball or random is football.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I know a little bit about a little bit, not
All right.
a lot about much. So.
I like that. I like that, Eric. Sounds good. All right, Eric, as you know, you get 4 questions, all baseball. Every question is worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. The pennant-winning Cardinals of 1968 had only 2 players eclipse the 10-homer mark. Orlando Cepeda with 16, and who else? So who else had a 10-homer mark in 1968 for the Cardinals?
That is going to be a little bit before my time. Give me the options on that one.
Roger Maris, Mike Shannon, or Julian Javier?
Let's go with Mike Shannon, final answer.
Question number 2. Dusty Baker is returning to San Francisco as a special assistant in the front office. His 2002 Giants lost the World Series to the Anaheim Angels in 7 games. Who was the MVP of that fall classic?
2002 World Series MVP. Oh, geez. Floyd lost. Final answer.
That was the Rally Monkey team.
Yeah. That was a good. I remember that.
All right, Eric, question number 3. Name the batter who struck out an MLB worst 215 times last season. So which batter struck out 215 times last season to lead the MLB?
Give me the options on that one.
Kyle Schwarber, Julio Rodriguez, or Luis Robert?
Man. I feel like it's too easy, but give me Schwarber, final answer.
Okay.
Question number 4. In 1985, the League Championship Series was expanded to a best-of-7 format. How many games did that year's Cardinals-Dodgers NLCS go?
Wait. So repeat the question one more time.
In 1985, the League Championship Series was expanded to a best-of-7 format. How many games did that year's Cardinals-Dodgers NLCS go?
Oh, I mean, the options are going to be pretty obvious. 6, final answer.
All right. We'll get CD back in. Eric, how you feeling?
I feel like when I guess quick, I do okay sometimes, so not too shabby, but not too great.
I've been there. I got the same thing going on. All right, CD.
Go with your gut. That's kind of the
That's right. CD, how's the cone of silence?
It was very quiet in there.
Very quiet, very lonely.
Yeah.
Mike Ryder is like, I'm out of here.
He left.
Well, CD, you better pack a lunch.
Okay.
Your category is baseball today.
Didn't I have baseball the other day?
Yep.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready as I can be.
Question 1.
All right.
The pennant-winning Cardinals of 1968
Oh, I remember those.
had only 2 players eclipse the 10-homer mark. Orlando Cepeda with 16, and who else?
All right. Give me the options.
Roger Maris, Mike Shannon, or Julian Javier?
What year? 1969? 68?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Mike Shannon, Julian Javier, and who was the other one?
Roger Maris.
68. Let's go. Julian Javier.
Final answer?
Final answer. Complete guess.
Question number 2. Dusty Baker is returning to San Francisco as a special assistant in the front office. His 2002 Giants lost the World Series to the Anaheim Angels in 7 games. Who was the MVP of that fall classic?
Oh, should have asked me who the manager was. Give me the options.
Options are Troy Gloss, Garrett Anderson, or John Lackey.
Ooh. I'm going to go Troy Gloss, final answer.
Who was the manager?
Mike Solskjaer.
There you go. Question 3. Who's the manager? No. Name the batter who struck out an MLB worst 215 times last season.
Oh.
Who led the majors in strikeouts? 215.
Aaron Judge missed a lot of games, so I don't think it would be him. Give me the options, man. Jeez.
Kyle Schwarber, Julio Rodriguez, or Luis Robert?
Kyle Schwarber just pops out. Luis Robert, Kyle Schwarber. Go Kyle Schwarber, final answer. You want to go Luis Robert, though.
Question number 4. In 1985, the league championship series was expanded to a best-of-7 format. How many games did that year's Cardinals-Dodgers NLCS go?
6, final answer.
All right, let's go over these. CD versus Eric today. And we start off with that last question there, Marshy.
I don't like it.
In 1985, the league championship series was expanded to a best-of-7 format. How many games did that year's Cards-Dodgers NLCS go? Kerry, you go, I don't know, 6. Eric, you go, I don't know, you're going to give me this 6. Correct answer is?
It is a serious number. It is 6.
Nice job, gentlemen. 2-2 tie. 2-2 tie between these guys. Name the batter who struck out in MLB worst 215 times last season. Kerry, you said Kyle Schwarber. Eric, you said Kyle Schwarber. Correct answer is?
It is Kyle Schwarber.
But both of you needed the options, so we've got a 3-3 tie. Dusty Baker is returning to San Francisco as a special assistant in the front office. His 2002 Giants lost the World Series to the Anaheim Angels in 7 games. Who was the MVP of that fall classic? Kerry, you said Troy Gloss. Eric, you said Troy Gloss. Correct answer is?
It is former Cardinal Troy Gloss.
But Eric didn't need the options. Eric has a 1-point lead. It comes down to this. The pennant-winning Cardinals of 1968 had only 2 players eclipse the 10-homer mark. Orlando Cepeda with 16, and who else? This is the only question that you guys had opposite answers on.
Oh, man.
You both needed the options. Kerry, you went with Julian Javier. Eric, you went Mike Shannon.
I feel like we're both wrong.
Well, if you're both wrong and it's Roger Maris, then Eric, you win.
Yeah.
If it's Mike
I
Shannon.
go against Roger Maris, but
Eric, if it's Roger Maris or Mike Shannon, you win. Kerry, if it's Julian Javier, well, then we got a walk-off. Eric.
You have chosen wisely.
Correct answer is?
It is Mike Shannon.
It was Mike Shannon with 15. So, Eric, you had 6 to CD's 4, but that wound up being a really good gauntlet. Nice job, guys.
good one.
Good job.
Eric, you're going to be back tomorrow. I think Jamie's with us tomorrow, so you'll have an opportunity to take on either Marsh, Jamie, or me. Nice job.
Hey,
Congrats.
in the words of Mike Shannon, maybe tomorrow someone will go down like a sack of onions.
There you go. Went down like a sack of onions. Nice job, Eric. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Good job.
Boy, I like Eric. I like Eric a lot. He's a nice guy.
He's got a lot of energy.
Came out with a bunch of compliments for us. I mean, that was just, yeah, he did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cut me down.
Oh, yeah, Eric.
He meant business.
I didn't realize that until then.
Nice guy.
Nice guy.
You know what happens to nice guys, though, here in the
Marsh
Gauntlet?
eventually beats him. Yep. All right. We got our sports six-pack next. Text into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Any question that you want, send it there. We'll answer them. Next on 101 ESPN. I want to talk to the people today that went outside in the cold and their car didn't start. And they said to themselves, again, this piece of crap, I'm ready for a new vehicle. That's who I want to talk to right now. And you know it, too, because you're the people that right now, you're scared to death, not knowing if your car is going to start tonight after you get out of work or tomorrow morning. Head down to Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum and let them hook you up with a new ride. They're the best. They have over 700 vehicles on the lot, ready to go, ready for you to test drive, ready for you to find the perfect financing options, whether you got good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. They're going to hook you up. When you tell them Stalter sent you down there, they're going to really hook you up. So, preview at autocentersnissan.com, check out their selection, and then head to Herculaneum, because all it is one dealership. That's it. It's a beautiful dealership. They just built it not too long ago. But you don't have to drive around the greater St. Louis area to find your next new ride. You just go out to Herculaneum, you talk to the tremendous sales team, and afterwards, after the financing is done and you're set, they're going to give you a 30-day return promise. They're going to give you a complimentary lifetime warranty, and you're going to love working with them. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Check them out online or go down to Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
With Kerry Davis and Anthony Stalter, here's Andrew Marsh with your questions for the Sports Six Pack via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
Question number one.
From the 314, hey guys, quick question. ESPN covers wrestling/sports entertainment. How often do you guys cover sports entertainment/wrestling, or do any of you even watch it at all?
I don't. I never have.
You never watched WWE?
No. Oh, no. Man. I realize the popularity of it. I'm not going to sit here and slam it and anything like that. I promise you I won't. I just have never been into it. It's never been a draw for me. So I don't know the characters. I don't know the people. I don't even know what channel. I couldn't tell you what channels it's on.
I grew up. I used to love it as a kid. Like, couldn't get enough of it. Like,
yeah.
The just all of it. Mm-hmm. And the Ultimate Warrior was like my.
That was your guy.
Yeah, you know. And then they put him in a casket. The Undertaker put him in the casket. And I was.
That was it?
I thought so. I thought that was the end of it. But I actually took my son to a what was it? Monday Night Raw or something here about a month ago. It was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. I haven't been up to date with all of the new
storylines,
current wrestlers like the Bloodline and all. You know, it's pretty cool. It's very entertaining. And my son, we go to a lot of sporting events. He was dialed in, man.
Was he?
Oh man, he was like, oh, damn. And so,
That's cool.
for me, that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it.
It is amazing whenever your kid is naturally into something, because when they're younger, I don't know if your experience is the same, but when they're younger, like my kids are now, you feel almost like, hey, you want to watch it with me? You know, you watch football with me? Yeah, sure. All right. But when they're naturally into something, organically, it fires you up. So I could see that. But no, to answer your question, you wouldn't want me talking about it. You probably don't
Question
want
number
anything.
2.
From the 314, do you see Mo shocking everyone and heavily going after Josh Hader? Everything he said was a smokescreen.
I would love to see it, but no. At some point, we have to believe the Cardinals for who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Mo. I'm talking about the Cardinals, which starts at the top. The ownership here is only going to give Mo a certain amount of budget to play with. Mm-hmm. And it seems like Mo used all of that budget. Now, could he make a trade? Yeah, he did with the Andrew Kittredge trade. Is he going to expand? I think Josh Hader probably would be here already.
If it was...
I know he's still in the open market, so maybe that's a dumb statement, but if the Cardinals were interested and they put together a good package, he knows the division, obviously, has an opportunity to shove it where the sun don't shine with the Brewers multiple times a year. It would seem to be a good landing spot for him.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I don't think they're going to surprise.
I agree. I think, what you see is what you get. They told you what they were going to do. They did just that. Will they? They said they're comfortable with the roster as it is. So
yeah,
I think you have to trust and believe that maybe you go out and get another reliever somewhere, somehow. But for the most part, I think they are set.
By the way, I'm not saying that you should like it. You shouldn't like what they're saying. I'm just saying you kind of almost got to believe what they're saying.
Yeah, there's no...
From a standpoint of we're good.
There's no...
I think they mean it.
There's no Blake Snell in the future, bringing back of Jordan Montgomery.
Unless there's another Blake Snell that is playing, in the minors someplace, then I'll...
We signed Blake Snell!
Yeah. Not that
one.
Blake Snell. I did get you an outfielder, though.
Question number 3.
You used to play for the Giants. Franklin? Not those Giants.
From the 217, what is the noisiest hotel you guys have stayed at while traveling?
Oh, man,
that's a good question.
We played in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl versus LSU. That should tell you all you need to know. It was, they wouldn't let us sleep. They call your phone all night. We had whiteboards around the building to, lunch here, dinner here, team meeting here. They write Go Tigers and on the bottom of the map. Come on, man.
Can you just unplug the phone, though?
Yeah, you could.
Eventually,
Yeah. They can't. They weren't on our floor, but it was loud. They were very rude, Anthony.
I believe that.
You know what I hate, though? I do hate when there are people partying. I don't like to be there because I've been the partier.
Sure.
So I don't want to be that guy now, but damn it, I want to go to sleep.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough in a hotel because there's other places for you to. It's not like you. It's not like you can sleep just anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to a hotel, a lot of times you're going obviously just to sleep.
Right.
If there's other places to party, you go
Correct.
to bars or whatever. So yeah, that winds up being tough. I had mentioned going back and forth. This is my second Bristol mention today, but they always put us up in one hotel when I went, and normally I was on a different floor, no issue. But the first time I stayed there, I was the first room off the bar.
Oh.
and they had like a bachelor party going or something like that. Dude, it was rough. It was rough. And after that, I didn't have any issues. If I was on the first floor or something like that, I would just request. And I got to know, because I would see the same people, the same night crew. Because I would fly in on Saturday. I wouldn't get there until like 11 o'clock at night. So it was the same crew. If I had I'd just, hey, can I get in a different room? They're accommodating. Yeah. But that was the loudest that I experienced.
Question number 4.
From the 660, why are the Bills favored over the Super Bowl champs? Make it make sense, please.
Home favorite. They're at home. You know what it is?
The Chiefs can't catch the football?
No. Just from a line standpoint, the only thing that matters in this case is that they're saying that this is an even matchup.
Yeah.
Based on not what Kansas City has done in its career under Patrick Mahomes, but this season. Yeah. They're saying it's an even matchup. So how do you decipher an even match? It used to be 3 points, now it's 2.5 for home field advantage. So what they're saying is this is a pick'em. Any place else, neutral ground, any place else, it's a pick'em. Yeah. If it was at Arrowhead, and they did play earlier this year at Arrowhead, I can look back to see what the line was.
The Bills won that game, right?
They did, but they probably weren't favored. Let's see here. Kansas City and Buffalo. The Chiefs were a 1-point favorite. Okay. At Arrowhead.
Right.
So that actually would be an indication that odds makers prefer Buffalo.
Because they're a couple more points favored in their direction.
So 2.5 is home field advantage. They shaved off a full 1.5 points. Yeah. When Kansas City played them at Arrowhead. So this is purely what odds makers would consider a pick'em game outside of the fact that it's in Buffalo. They give them the 2.5 for the home field advantage, and that's it. Kansas City wouldn't be favored in this.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't.
But I still think they're going to win.
Okay.
Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over, man. He's going to throw it to
he could still win if he turns the ball over.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's harder.
It makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you conflicted at all by this? Because you've been really against Kansas City. They're dropping the passes and all that.
But for whatever reason, the Miami Dolphins just didn't cover Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. I don't know why.
Miami was so frozen.
Oh.
It couldn't see straight. They couldn't think.
Yeah, about that. Cover those two guys and you might have a chance.
But cold.
Buffalo's defense is beat down.
Yeah, it is.
So, I think that even though Kansas City has dropped a lot of passes this year, just don't throw it to those guys that drop passes.
I saw Donnie Fandango in the hall. He's a huge Bills fan because of the Bills run in the 90s. And so him and I were talking. If I'm him, my biggest concern is the defense. I think the offense looks much better under Joe Brady. I think it's more efficient. Yeah. But that defense, without Matt Milano, without White, without now some of the other linebackers have dropped, that's my biggest concern.
Yeah.
Question number 5.
So I feel like we've had this question before, but I'm eager to hear what Carey has to say on this matter. From the 661, what do you guys think about wearing jerseys as an adult? Do you prefer a specific sports jersey over others?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever worn a jersey other than mine as an adult. It's just not my, I don't wear jerseys together. Like you wouldn't see me in a Steph Curry jersey going to a Warriors game. To each his own, man. Fandom is a beautiful thing. I love fans and everybody, you do it your own way and you support your team, your organization, however you see fit. If you are 40 plus and you have a baseball glove at a game, I might say something, but
you never know when the baseball's going to come your way.
Use your hands.
I don't think I've ever worn a glove to a game.
How about the guy that goes to different Major League Baseball stadiums and will sit in the outfield and catch balls? He has like thousands of home run baseballs. Won't give it to a kid. He'll just keep it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Yeah. Yep, totally. When I started in radio, I remember distinctly having a conversation early on in my career with one of the producers at the Detroit radio station I'd started with. And I remember asking her, I said, do you have, so have you collected autographs or whatever, right? Because I'm still wide-eyed and all that stuff. I'm like, so what autographs do you have? And she looked at me and she goes, don't you dare. She goes, don't you ever, if you want to be in this business, ask for an autograph when you are working. And in fact, your autograph days are done.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, all right. And for some reason, I also kind of connected that with the jersey aspect. So that was probably right around when I stopped wearing jerseys. But I definitely remember thinking, like, I will not wear a jersey of somebody that's like 10 years younger than I am. I just, it felt weird to me. But to Kerry's point, I'm not going to knock you if you wear the jersey.
I would say when I was in college, I wore like throwback jerseys. So, yeah. But not as an adult. No.
Sure.
I think it's time and place for me. If like I'm on a date going to a sporting event, like I'm probably not going to wear a jersey. If I'm with my buddies and we're having a good time, like I did earlier this year, I'm definitely wearing a jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Like it depends on who I'm with, what game it is, like just what I feel like wearing. Sometimes, you maybe you want to wear like a quarter zip or, go to a baseball game, you want to wear a t-shirt. I like wearing jerseys at the Cardinals games just because, it's a short sleeve shirt. It's hot out.
Yeah.
You want to rep the team. Plus I have a few cool jerseys, so I want to wear them. When else am I going to wear them? So.
Very true. Yeah. So that's who you are basically who Kerry and I are talking about. Go for it.
Do you think?
Let it rip, baby.
I'm the guy.
You're wearing jerseys, yeah. So we're saying is let it rip, man. Go for it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
enjoy it.
Sometimes this is just my opinion, my philosophy. Like we are part of this radio show and whatnot, but sometimes I like to go to the game as just a fan.
Yeah,
so I want to wear a jersey. I want to act like a fan and not that I get away from this, but like it's nice to kind of break off a little bit.
Kerry and I are not judging you at all
You're
right
staring
now.
at me right now. I feel like you're judging me. I feel like you're staring right at me. You're like, what is this kid thinking?
We're all on the same page here, my man. You go for it. Yeah. You won't see Kerry and I doing
that's
that.
I have no issue.
That's, but we're older. We're much older
still
than
in
you.
my 20s, I still make SpongeBob references every day. Like, I feel like I'm a kid.
We're the old guys, Just a couple of old guys over here.
Yeah, you are.
Don't let us deter you. Are you 82? Are you 82?
81.
Oh, so you're a year older.
We're having that conversation again.
Yeah.
80, baby.
Okay.
You remember that? It's probably a year ago.
Probably, yeah. Probably had the same conversation.
I saw something on the text line about which is better. Something in dinosaurs. It was did I miss something? Something from a year ago?
Oh, that's a great movie. Dinosaurs? Or Dinosaur?
Solid, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one on like Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you're too young to know Denver the Last Dinosaur, which was a great cartoon.
Denver
the Last Dinosaur. I don't
Never
remember
heard of
that.
him. I know who Dino is.
Dino,
Fred Flintstone?
Yeah.
Did you watch the dinosaur? You remember TGIF, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the
restaurant?
show Dinosaur? Yeah, I think the restaurant came after it.
Oh, probably.
Do you remember that show, the show Dinosaurs?
I don't remember that.
As a kid, you're like, this isn't bad. I think BT and I talked about this. I watched one of the episodes with the kids. I'm like, this is horrible.
Is it? I think I do know what you're talking about. I can't
It's like
remember.
a family of dinosaurs.
Yes.
It's like people, it's actors that are in these dinosaur outfits.
What?
Oh, man. It is rough.
C314. I loved Denver the Last Dinosaur.
I remember what was it, The Land Before Time?
Yeah,
that movie.
That's what I was thinking about, Land Before Time. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when everyone thought dinosaurs were.
They had a promo. We were talking about like the Pizza Hut, Readers Club, or whatever, get your personal pan. They had a promo going on with Land Before Time. I remember when I was a kid.
Yes. Good time, man. Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Have you seen The Good Dinosaur?
Yes.
I heard that movie's terrible.
It's not great.
I haven't seen that.
There's just nothing that happens. You get done with it, you're like, nothing happened, basically.
No story?
Not really.
It had a song, too, like Denver, the Last Dinosaur.
I don't think I remember that.
Friend and a whole lot more.
That's a catchy tune. That's a catchy tune. Of course, we all remember from our childhood, too, Kerry, the American Gladiators, but we won't talk about that again.
That's so sad.
Just horrible. All right, not the show, just the living conditions of the Gladiators. All right, we're going to dive back into the NFL coaching cycle before we sign off because we're off a little bit early tonight with the Blues taking on the Capitals pregame at 5 o'clock. But is Bill Belichick closer and closer to finding a landing spot? Seems like it. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Kerry, and let me tell you about my good friends over at STL Design and Build. You all heard me talking about getting my deck done and how awesome of a job they did. They got the work done in a timely manner. They made sure that I got a good, fair price, and they were with me every step of the way. But what I learned throughout the process is they not only do decks, they also do siding. They do interior, kitchen, and bathroom. They are a one-stop shop for all of your home needs. If you need some work done and you want a company that is going to work with you and do the job correctly, you need to reach out to STL Design and Build. They are an award-winning company that has taken home the top workplace award as well as the best home improvement company. I learned throughout the process that they truly believe in treating people how they want to be treated. As I said, they were with me every step of the way. They have a Builder Trend app that allows you to go on, approve any work that's being done, deny any work that you don't want to be done. They are a great company that is working with anyone that wants to have their house improved. So reach out to them at stldesignandbuild.com. The STL stands for St. Louis, but it also stands for Sky's the Limit. That's stldesignandbuild.com, and tell them Kerry sent you.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues take on the Capitals tonight with the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. So we are out of here early right here in the fast lane. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. Catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We talked earlier today with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed that interview or If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Head to the podcast page. You'll find all the interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Just a couple minutes here. We already talked about Mike McCarthy being back with the Dallas Cowboys and some thoughts that we had there. You could download the podcast if you missed that. But it would appear, CD, that Bill Belichick might be leaning toward Atlanta because he got a second interview, or he will have a second interview in the next couple of days. It suggests that the two sides are pretty serious. Yep. The Falcons also interviewed Jim Harbaugh and expect to interview Mike Vrabel as well. Okay. But Belichick is the first one that I've seen to receive multiple interviews with them. This makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. When we talked about Mike McCarthy earlier and why Jerry Jones might want to stick with McCarthy, he doesn't want to relinquish control of his team. You're going to have to do that with Bill Belichick. And we can talk about, well, Bill after Tom Brady's not the same guy, this, that, and the other thing. It doesn't matter. Right. Bill Belichick will want control. That doesn't mean that Terry Fontenot, the GM in Atlanta, would get let go. Maybe it's a collab situation. I don't know. But if you're the Falcons and you haven't won anything big ever, and you've been a laughingstock, you say, Bill, what do you want? What do you need? What do you need? What do you want?
What is the first big decision that Bill Belichick makes? If you're in that position, you're a Falcons fan, what's the biggest decision that needs to be made for the Atlanta Falcons for the 2024 season?
Assuming that he brings in Josh McDaniels, which I'm sure he would, as the OC. Quarterback.
Where are they picking at? 8th? They are 8th. Mm-hmm. You ain't going to find one there, are you? Well, you might have. Penix might flip, but might still be around. Jaden Daniels has been taught. Do you like Penix over Jaden Daniels?
I do, but I could understand. It's not like I would complain that you'd get the Heisman Trophy winner that is dynamic and as electric as he is. But I would like Penix. But yeah, quarterback. And I don't think going the Jimmy G route is smart. Mm-hmm. In fact, they could have had Jimmy G. The Patriots could have. Yeah. And there are now reports that Belichick wanted to trade Mac Jones, and Kraft stepped in and said no.
Really?
Belichick reportedly was going to go after Baker Mayfield last offseason.
That would have been better than what they have now.
Certainly. Well, it's kind of interesting, though. So we think that, he was tied to Mac Jones. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't. They also, again, they could have went for Jimmy G a couple of times. Everybody kept making that, I wanted to just sign Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think he's going to go that route. So quarterback is the number one priority for him.
If you are the Falcons, you definitely want somebody that has had success in the league. They are, they have some talent. Defensively, they were much better than I thought they would be. Mm-hmm. And offensively, you got so many skill guys. If you are able to find the right quarterback to get the guys the football in a timely manner, you could actually be a really good football team. Yeah. And you're in a division that you should win if you have the right quarterback under center.
Right. So if he wins there,
he's not going to win a championship.
If he wins there,
not a championship.
That's more impressive than Brady going down to Tampa.
Yeah, but he's not going to win a championship there.
Okay.
I don't think.
If you showed up to crap on me, you have accomplished that. Vrabel is, again, he's receiving multiple interviews, but this is the only one that seems to be picking up steam right now. The Panthers also had a virtual interview, apparently, with Bobby Slowick, the offense coordinator for the Texans. The other report, and it didn't come out, it came out yesterday, I think, was that Ben Johnson's almost like a layup for Washington. Okay. It seems like Washington really wants Ben Johnson, the OC from the Lions, which means, okay, where does Vrabel wind up then?
I don't know, because it feels like Harbaugh is the Chargers?
He's well.
But you said that the ownership group is an ownership group that he worked for in the past or played for, correct? Is that what you told me?
I didn't say it.
I thought somebody told me that was an ownership group that he had played for.
That makes sense, yeah.
Is that correct? Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know.
You might be.
Possible.
I told you the other day that ownership group doesn't necessarily love to spend money.
They have been criticized for being.
So do you see them outspending what Michigan could offer to Jim Harbaugh?
No.
So I think there's your answer right there.
It's interesting. And Dan Quinn talked to the Carolina Panthers. That he may wind up being the guy there.
Wow.
Because he if
you could watch that game and you could watch that entire. Somebody sat down and watched the Packers versus the Cowboys play this weekend and said, "Give me that guy."
Yeah,
somebody did.
Somebody
might be desperate.
Said, "Let's go with the defensive-minded head coach for our number one draft pick that we just had, Bryce Young, who had a bad year. Let's get a defensive guy in there to help his career out."
Yeah. The offensive guy didn't work, though. Frank Reich.
He didn't really work in Indianapolis either.
I don't think he wanted to be there.
These meetings every day are killing me. They're not fun.
I'll take the paycheck. If I get fired, you still got to pay me. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Bet the board, 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments next.
Anthony, after an incredible NFL wildcard weekend, we're on to the divisional round. For these teams, it's win or go home, but you'll always have a spot in the playoffs with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. FanDuel has so many ways for you to pick up the W. So if you want to follow our picks, go to FanDuel right now. San Francisco seems to be a lock, Anthony. Detroit, maybe, maybe not. Baltimore, lock. Buffalo Bills, you like them. I don't.
Yeah, it's a lean more than anything. You know the thing I really like, and FanDuel's got all the odds. I haven't checked the actual number as of right now, but the team total for the 49ers. I think they score a lot of points. Then you don't have to worry about the point spread and Green Bay coming back and all that. Yeah, but that's the thing with FanDuel. They've got all the odds. They've got all the ways that you can play, whether it's player props or futures. They've got it all at FanDuel. And new customers can get started with $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just visit FanDuel.com/fast to join today. That's FanDuel.com/fast to join today. And you can make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, fellas, it's Kerry, and if you are suffering from a feeling of wanting to urinate, but you can't, maybe you're straining while you're urinating, maybe the feeling of not being able to empty your bladder fully, well, you could be suffering from BPH or an enlarged prostate. My friends at the Midwest Institute for Non-Surgical Therapy can help you. My friend Dr. Akinwande can help you. Now, Dr. A talked to me about other procedures out there and how not great they can be, but his procedure that they offer at the Midwest Non-Surgical Therapy Institute for Non-Surgical Therapy is minimally invasive. It has lower risks of complications. It had no hospital stays, no suture, scarring, or general anesthesia, and you will get relief from the uncomfortable symptoms that I mentioned above, and it will allow you to resume normal activities within a few days, all while feeling better and feeling relieved. And the most important part about it is it's covered by most insurances. So reach out to Mint STL today to schedule your appointment. That's MINTSTL.com and let them know Kerry sent you.
10 minutes, you got pregame with Alex Ferrario and the Blues pregame as they take on the Capitals. 6 o'clock, the puck will drop. We'll have the game for you right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN and the Blues Radio Network. If you missed anything from today's show, covered some Blues, covered some Cards, covered some NFL, you can download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app, all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Marsh, why don't you read those stars for today, my man? Or compliments, criticisms, whatever you got.
We're not doing Bet the Board?
Oh, yeah, we do. Bet the Board is next. Did Jamie give us?
He did? What did he say?
Oh, that's right.
Predators. Money line over the Kings.
That's right. My bad.
Yeah.
So Marsh, after we all lost last night, I think.
I don't know how Jamie lost. That was a good pick for him.
Yeah, that was a good pick for him.
Sucks.
Marsh, you're still in second place, so go ahead.
I am going to go... I'm going to go Blues Capitals first period over. Over 1.5. It is at -116. So we need at least 2 goals. Doesn't matter who scores, 2 goals in the first period.
Okay, Kerry.
Like I'm going to take my number 14 ranked ILLINI. I got the shirt on today, Illinois. We're representing. -2.5 at Michigan. You should beat the hell out of Michigan. Just saying.
Okay.
That's what we do.
That was aggressive.
A little bit.
I am going to take the Lightning over 3.5 goals tonight for their team total. I was doing some research.
Okay.
Their team total, 5-0 in the last 5 games. If you just look at their home splits on that, in their last 10 home games, Gary, they went over their team total 9 times.
For them.
So over 3.5 goals for the Lightning. That's at +104.
You know what that means, Anthony?
They're going to score 3 goals.
They're not going to score.
All in the third period. All in the first period. Last time I did that, Montreal scored 2 in the first period and left me hanging. Yep. All right, now we could do some stars and some criticisms.
All right, let's start off with a compliment from the 314. The 314 was watching us on our Air Alliance team YouTube page.
In the snake pit?
Yeah.
In the snake pit. Saw Carey and thought, man, Carey has one of the nicest smiles.
Thank you.
That's really
nice.
nice.
Teeth, nice smile.
Thank you. Very nice.
That's very nice.
Very kind. Kind words from kind people.
Way to go, Carey.
All right. Time for... No, actually, we got another compliment. From the 314, another great show. Thanks, guys. Let's go Blues.
Let's go.
Let's go Blues. Thank you.
Done.
Perfect.
Thanks for listening.
All right, now to our 3 stars of the day. Our 3rd star of the day goes to Anthony's travel history. Congratulations.
Oh, man. Okay, I thought I was going to get another one there. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Shout out to the cab driver.
Yeah, who I almost strangled.
He is.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's taking people to their destination the first time.
Directly
there.
If you missed that story, I shared it earlier today. Check it out on the podcast.
And shout out to the hotel that you stayed at.
Yeah, whatever hotel that was.
I can't remember.
It was expensive. I don't think ESPN was happy about that one. Like, hey, I got stuck here.
It was 12:30 in the morning. What do you expect?
Exactly.
What do you want?
I'm talking about strangling cab drivers. What do you want from me?
Our 2nd star of the day goes to Denver the Dinosaur.
All right, Denver the Dinosaur. Nice job.
Would you like to sing that theme song again?
Denver the last dinosaur. Denver the last dinosaur. He's my friend and a whole lot more. There you go.
Now that you sing that, it kind of rings a bell.
Yeah, Denver the last dinosaur, man.
Somewhere deep in the old cranium that you knocked the board loose.
I have a show like that. I used to watch Bananas in Pajamas.
Bananas in Pajamas.
I've never heard of that.
Maybe someone on the text line watched that show growing up, but that was a great one. It was like,
never heard of that.
Bananas in Pajamas are coming down the stairs.
Of course they are.
There were these bananas in pajamas just dancing away, walking down the stairs.
Did they get into like banana-like trouble?
Oh,
Maybe.
man.
Maybe they did. I don't know what bananas do in their free time. But
I don't either.
Other than turn yellow.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's good. That's good. And who's the top star?
Well, we got a text from the 661. Anthony, you just may get a star today. but actually you're not. The first star goes to Eric's Mike Shannon reference in the Gauntlet.
Nice job. Yeah. I went down like a sack of onions.
That was nice.
That was. Eric was real nice. Sorry about that, Kerry.
I know. He beat me down.
Yeah.
Came in very polite. And then
He
beat me
did.
down.
He definitely did.
I like it. It's okay.
All right, like I mentioned before, we have Blues hockey for you. So we've got the pregame starting at, 5 o'clock. So five minutes from now, pregame, right here on 101 ESPN. Some lineup changes for the Blues. So looking forward to see how this unfolds. Got a couple of games coming up against the Capitals. So you will hear from Alex Ferrario and Joe Vitale, and, of course, Chris Kerber, who we chatted with earlier today. And then Curbs and Joey will have the game coverage for you. Alex will be back in intermissions, and then they'll wrap it all up here again on 101 ESPN on the Blues Radio Network. So for Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh and Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Everybody, thanks for listening. Enjoy some Blues hockey. See ya. Whenever Jamie and I reach out to Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation, and he gets back to us and says, hey, listen, just chat about the company and kind of what I do, and he doesn't come on, it's always because he's helping a client out. And that is the number one thing that Stewie lives for, quite frankly. He loves diving into what's going on with the market and the rates and how that impacts you as a homeowner, somebody that wants to buy a home, somebody that wants to maybe put themselves in a better financial situation. Maybe you're dealing with some debt that you want to clear up, or if you just want to understand the ins and outs of refinancing, and if you should do it. That is what Stewie's all about. He hands out his personal cell phone number, which I'll give to you in a second, for a reason. He doesn't want you to experience a lot of the ways that other companies do with their customer service. And we've all been there before, whether you're dealing with a cable or satellite company or maybe somebody in the medical field and you try to just get an answer from somebody that you have a question about. You call and then you sit on hold, or you're playing the game where you're press 1, press 2, press 3, and then somebody hangs up on you. Not with Stewie. When you call him or text him, you're going to deal with him. Tell him your situation, and Stewie will help you out. He's got the bagel loan. If you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you can qualify for the bagel loan. No closing costs, no lender fees. Call him. Trust me on this. You're not going to regret it. 314-324-4440 or Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.